Hello. Oops. Hi, chat. I'm gonna get right back into it. Let's see. Last time we got ourselves a shop in the main town. So now we have orders and stuff to take from folk inside the city. So I don't know what that's gonna be like. Let's see here. I think we're probably gonna get paid more. Oh, hello, kitty. Hello. Bob. I'm guessing we're gonna get more pay. We still only have 8 action points, which I think will come from, I don't know, cause I don't know what's gonna get us. God, the game volume is kind of loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. Yeah, that's why. It's odd because in the demo, like, you spent upgrades to get more energy, so I'm wondering how we're gonna get more action points as we play. Let's just see if our scrap guy can come visit us. No. So, what do you got? So nothing really new. The only thing he's really got is new pigment for leather. So, Oh, kitty. So now I have asymmetrical blades. I have curved blades. I can do fullers. I really want engraving and bending, because that'll be fun. Okay. So, Iago, Mara, Corthan, can't afford Dr. Marlowe, and then a repair. Let's just look at it, because it's a 9, and I'm curious. Okay. Alright, Iago. The man who strolls into your forge is small of stature, but clearly geared for combat. He has a sword at his hip and a dagger holstered across his chest. Greetings and well met. Thanks to the faith we have a bladesmith in the city again. I was starting to suspect we'd never get another after old Dustin vanished. I'm in need of a new sword to carry. 2 is hardly enough. What if someone disarms me? So he only pays 58. That's pretty garbage. What about Mara? 4 children tumble through your door in a tangle of elbows. The smallest, gap-toothed and muddy, is shoved forward by the others. We need a knife! Well, I sharpen. Well, obviously the smith knows it needs to be sharp, so it's a knife! The tallest, a girl with scraped knees and a missing front tooth, produces a leather pouch. It clinks heavily. We got coin! Real coin, see? Where'd you get this money? There's an eruption of voices. They all speak over each other at once. Found it! Earned it fair and square. My gran gave it to us for... Does it matter? It's good coin. We count it twice. Why do you need a knife? We all speak at once. A monster under my bed. Need a rope to cut for our swing. The maker's mean dog. Shut it, all of you. We need it for protection. Marwan's nodded vigorously. So super short. So this would be like the first dagger I make. I can't make this unless you tell me why you need it. There's a good chance I don't make this. Hey! I did it! After some hesitation, the tall squirrels push forward again. We're gonna make some money, Smith. We're gonna use a knife to carve some little knickknacks out of wood and sell them. Oh. Yeah, if anyone tries to steal from us, we're gonna stab them good and proper. Shh! Elsa, not happen. Girls, I mean, 63. Fine, I'll bite. What kind of knife are you after? Sharp and pointy. Also, I told you the smith knows that already. She's right, though. It needs to be sharp. Okay. So this is going to take 10 steel. I mean... Fuck. That's not a whole lot of money. Take 10 steel, 63... I mean, I guess for 10 thalers I can buy, well, no. It's not a great deal. I might take it if, I mean, this is a good deal. A watchman walks into the workshop, oddly shamefaced, his eyes red-rimmed and bleary, your eyes drawn to the empty scabbard at his hip.
Yeah, Priceman Bladesmith. Lost my. Well, I can't remember where I lost, to be honest. I was pretty drunk last night. I reported it missing. Quartermaster will have my hide and my pay for 3 months. So 124, 3 silver, a horseshoe, a mug, and steel. Yeah, this one I'm gonna take. If I get Mara again, I might take it. But I'm taking Corthan. Okay. So medium length, 3 impact. So it needs to be a little chunkier. Alabaster pigment, so I have that. Hand and a half, regular point. Yeah, I can do this one. Okay. Oh! Whoa! Apparently spacebar does that. Okay. So length. Bop, be bop, be bum, beep, boop, bop, bum, beep, dum, bum, 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 bum. Oh. I don't know why I keep pushing space. It's silly. Herp, herp, herp. We're gonna make it a little bit. There we go. Because impact's gonna be important. Okay, so thickness. Thickness. What is it to flip? Reverse hammering. Make it a little bit thicker. Actually a lot bit thicker. And then let's make it a little bit wider. Oh. Hi, kitty.
Oh, a big stretch for the kitty. Hello. Hello. Meow. Good girl. Good meow. Good meow on you. Yeah, I love kitties. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, kitties. Good girls. Oh, big meow. You want to be sitting closer? Is that what this is? Move your footstool. Oh, come back there.
Okay. Well, she's being silly. Make this a fair bit wider. Alright. Didn't mean to do that. But that's okay. I keep pushing the spacebar. I need to take my hand off of the keyboard. Okay. Let's see here. Point. Regular point. Ah, I missed. I got a regular point on this sucker. And then cross section. I'd like it to be a little bit sharp. And then oh. Just a little convex. Yeah. And then let's add a fuller. Make it nice and long. Get a better view of this sucker. Okay. Yeah, that's a good looking sword. Okay. Now it needs a cross guard. We'll do a cell sword. Boop. And then here we go. What is it to shrink? Again, I forget. Is it right click? No. Shift click? No. Oh, you can change the polish level. I never noticed that. What was it to... Oh, man. Scrap. Action. Asymmetry. Vendor. What is... Gosh dang it. Toggle, 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 screenshot. Rotate. Scale. There it is. I'm blind. Bip. Okay, hang on. There we go. Hand in a hat. And, actually, can we just... Give me this. Gotta get it about the same. There we go. And then, put a big ring on it. Big old ring. And then we need, some rib leather for their pleasure. Yeah. Boop. That's a good looking sword, if I do say so myself. It's not bad. Can we... that's smooth leather. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, that's a good sword. This is Gudge. This is Gudge the sword. Kitty! Hello! Hello, kitty! Hello, hello! Hello, kitty! Big meow! Hey, big meow for the stream? Good girl. Big meow. Oh, you're being silly. Being a silly kitties. She's just sitting there staring at me. Hey, no, I can't have cat cam. This game is too big to have cat cam. Can't have cat cam. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, big meow. Meow meow. She's a good girl. Oh, she's grouchy for no reason. For no reason she's grouchy. Aren't you? Say, yeah, I'm grumpy. See? Chat knows you're grumpy. Yeah. I gotta play with your face. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, now she's gonna try and bite. Go away! Go away! Shoot. This is a good sword. There you go. There you go, friend. Turn that down a little bit, because that's still... What? What? Okay. I know what you want. I know what you want. Yeah, look at those eyes dilate. Yeah. Some treats for the kitty cat. There you go. Greed. The greed they discussed in the Bible. Slides the blade in the scabbard with visible relief, adjusting his belt to sit properly again. The quartermaster won't know the difference. He saved me months of half rations and latrine duty. There you go. Good. The sword is good. Oh, yes. My volume's a little... I'm peeking. Okay. There you go. Now I can't do any of those, so I have to do just basic bitch-ass repairs. A desperate-looking man shovels forward, unwrapping a battered blade from a dirty cloth. I haven't taken proper care of this. I've been too focused just on surviving. Could you fix it? Okay. All right. It needs to be very sharp. Okay. And he wants a regular point on it. Okay. So we'll do the point first. There you go. And then thickness. No. Yeah. Right. And then cross section. Bip. Bop. Okay. I'm gonna add a fuller. Cause I can. Cause fuck you. You're gonna have a fuller and like it, dumbass. There you go. There's your sword. It's like you brought it back from the dead. I owe you, Smith. Uh-huh. Next! Next customer! Hang on. I've got, stuff I can break down, don't I? Yeah, we're gonna salvage that. Wood is fine. We should salvage this for some leather. That's a good day. And then we got 219. We're sitting at 95 steel. I feel like I should buy... No, we're okay. We're good to end of the day. End the day. So, we're up profit. Now we need to explore the keep. So we need to go to the tannery, because we might get a sidekick and tanning hides. The forge, the den, the lost city, the camp. Let's go to the tannery. Tomorrow we should probably go back to the camp and then check these out. So we're going to go to the tannery. The tannery. The smell hits you before the tannery comes into view, and it hits you hard. A nauseating blend of rotting flesh, stale piss, and caustic lime. Rounding the corner, you see the source of the stench. Workers stand waist-deep in large wooden vats filled with manure and urine, stamping the mixture into hides. Others scrape fat and flesh from skins with curved knives, the wet slapping sound carrying across the yard. Gross. So this is how we proceed. Let's find Caswin. You find him deep in conversation with a woman with a wild tangle of hair and a bow slung across her shoulder. She's standing beside a cart loaded with fresh animal hides. The woman sees you first. Her eyes keen and bright. She smiles to Caswin, and her smile is like a dazzling blade. Cute. I'll leave you to talk to your friend. She slips away. A puzzled Caswin turns and spots you, recognition taking a moment to flicker across his face. Well met, Smith. Sorry about the smell. Is there anything you need? Who is that? Oh, that was a huntress. She keeps us supplied with animal hides. Well, her and the herders up in the farming district. To be honest, I don't know her actual name. Never been quite brave enough to ask. How's life in the tanning yard? Oh, you know, I don't want to complain. It took me a while, but I'm almost used to the smell. And I'm so tired by the end of the day, I don't even have to worry about bad dreams. I just collapse straight into bed. Goodbye, Caswin. Farewell. If you need me, I'll be here. Seek out the owner. You find the owner seated behind an oak desk in an outbuilding, insulated from the worst of the stench. Sweat glistens on his fleshy jowls, and his fingers are adorned with silver rings. This is not a man with any personal experience with leatherworking. No. He looks up when you enter, his eyes flashing with irritation.
What now? You'll complain about the smell?
Greetings. I'm a new swordsmith in Aaron Keep. Man's fleshy features shift into a calculated smile.
Greetings, Smith. Name's pt2, and I'm in the leather trade. What can I do for you on this fine day?
Do you have a man named Caswin in your employ?
Caswin? Oh, he's a good worker. Tireless. Doesn't complain. He owes a substantial debt to the Houndsburg League. I'm helping him pay it off one day at a time. Without my generosity, he'd have 2 broken legs and only a begging bowl to his name. He's mine. What does it matter to you?
I was hoping to hire him at my forge.
He snorts derisively. You're welcome to him, but the man owes us a considerable sum. You just need to wait about 10 years. He should have paid off his debt by then.
You ever hear of a man named... how much would it cost to buy Caswin's freedom? He pours through his ledger, muttering calculations.
With interest? 2,000 thalers. And I doubt you can stump up that kind of money.
Oh my god. Why such a steep cost for this man's freedom?
He's one of my best workers. I won't let him go until he's worked off every penny.
2,000 thalers to get him out of here. You ever hear of a man named Lucas Boreana? Tanner's eyebrows raise.
Matter of fact, I do know the man. Everyone knows Lucas. He's been a great friend to my family. Why do you ask?
No reason. He snorts, jowls wobbling.
Not like I was interested anyway.
Where can I find him?
He's in Central Square almost every night, sitting at his usual table outside the Fallen Dell. Good luck getting a word in edgeways, though.
Ooh. Okay. You know anything about the missing swordsmith?
Rumor has it Thesson murdered his poor wife, fled into the West to escape the King's justice. Sounds plausible enough to me. You do well to drop this line of inquiry, Smith. Thesson was a scoundrel. No one in this city misses him, especially now you're here to take his role in the city's supply chain.
You have any leather for sale?
We don't deal with individuals, we sell them in bulk to established customers.
Looks you up and down with a grunt.
But if you help out at the tannery for a few hours, I can give you some offcuts to take home.
Goodbye. You're treated to a simpering smile as you leave his office. We're going back to the... I'm not working for you. Fuck off. Take weeks to get the smell out of your clothes.
New day has dawned.
Ooh. Okay. Harvo. Nimble grip. Okay. So that's 6. What is he paying? 91, 12, and 1. Yeah. Man tumbles through your doorway, catching himself on one hand before springing upright. His left ear is a bandaged stump.
Harvo Nimblegrip, at your service. Sword juggler, fire breather, mime in training. Perhaps you see me in Citadel Square. No, the Copper Crown, the Fallen Doe.
He produces a dagger from his sleeve and balances it on one finger. The blade wobbles. He snatches it before it falls.
I need a sword. One sword, perfect balance, perfect weight. No more mismatched sets. No more
Accidents. What happened to your ear, mister?
3 swords spinning in the air, and my assistant was throwing me a 4th. Crowd loved it, but the pommel on the 4th sword,
Loose as it turns out.
flew off mid-air. Let the weight all wrong.
I didn't catch it. It caught me. Why not use blunt swords?
Safer. No flash, no danger. Real stakes are what feels the hat coin.
You still perform?
The show must go on. No, the Copper Crown won't book me anymore. My ear landed in someone's tankard.
Ugh.
I still draw crowds in Citadel Square. They come for the spectacle. Some are hoping I'll lose the other ear.
Maybe you need to get a new job.
And do what? Herd goats in the farming district? Count coins for some merchant? I was born to make crowds gasp, to thrill, to spill, to demonstrate skill.
So he wants, not too long, high mobility, alabaster, leather, I mean, those are guaranteed. One-handed, narrow point, strongly curved blade. I'll think about it. I mean, 91 isn't that great for 6 action points. Tobias. Sandy-haired boy, scarcely 16, Summers, enters your forge, walking as though a great weight rests on his shoulders. He sets a heavy leather pouch on your counter with both hands.
Tidings, Smith, I require a sword.
You can tell he's deliberately trying to lower the pitch of his voice by an octave or two. Where did a boy your age get this money from?
My inheritance. Father died 2 weeks past. He was a guard at one of the lumber camps out west. I'm the man of the house now. I need a sword to protect my mother and sister.
Quite young to be carrying a sword.
I've trained since I could walk. My father and uncle taught me. They also taught me why to carry a sword. Stand for those who cannot stand. Speak for those who have no voice. Strike only in defense of yourself or the innocent.
What kind of sword do you need?
One size for my reach. Bounce for speed, not brute force. Father always said technique beats strength. I'll grow into a heavier blade, but for now, I need something I can actually wield.
Speed, mobility, sharpness. Only takes 8. So that's pretty good. And I'll get 72 thalers, which isn't great, but I'll get 6 steel back, a helmet, which is going to net me at least 5, and 2 horseshoes, which will net me another 10 if I scrap them. So that's pretty good. Tobias is pretty good. Let's look at Jamjay. Jamjay. Whoa. Walnut Brown, the heavy hand, one-handed, broad point, straight blade, 212 thalers, a small drum, a horseshoe, and a mystery reward.
I might take this one.
If the expensive silks didn't give away this customer's wealth, his plump belly would. The denizens of Air and Keep might not face daily famine like the applicants do, but only the rich eat well enough to put fat on their frames.
Greetings, good smith. I'm in need of a fine sword to wear at my hip, something that befits my station.
So length, and then all this. He doesn't care a shit about any of this. So I can make him the most fuck-ass, ugly, thick sword, and he wouldn't care. I think we do this one today to get the money up. We get a lot of money, then we can buy a bunch of stuff. Let's accept. And then we're gonna forge. Okay, so he does not give two shits about what this sword looks like other than being a straight blade and with a broad point. Okay. So length. I'm gonna make him as long as I can on this sword. Dope, 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 boom, boom, dope, bum, pop goes the bezel. Boop. I like making long swords. Thickness. So we're at half a cent. There we go. 0.48.
I'm making a wide, boy. We're gonna make it a wide, boy. I'm gonna make it wide. A wide sword. Wide as can be.
Okay. We're going to cross-section this fucker now. Boop, boop, pop. And then point. He wants a broad point. There we go. And then big fat fuller on it. Can we keep going on the fuller? If we add like another one. No, it doesn't do anything to have another one. Okay.
Yeah, look at that sword. Yeah, look at that. Look at that sword.
And it's gonna be a one-handed too. It's gonna be a fuck-ass sword. So Zwei. Boop. And we'll put a Quillian block after it. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then big old handle. And then we could give him, I mean, I don't really need to spend anything else on the thing because we're already there. 303, 288, 166. None of those look good though. There we go. We could do that one. Give him a Norse handle. Yeah. And then he wants walnut brown leather. Bip.
Yeah, look at that sword. It's a good sword. It's a good sword. That ain't bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright. Now it does everything.
That's a big boy.
Plump man smiles like a contented seal as he draws the sword part way. The steel glimmers.
A fine blade indeed. Perhaps I shall recommend your services to my friends.
Here we go.
This is a big boy. This is a big boy. Yeah, so there's a big boy.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Almost to a level. We should probably break these down. So we got some leather, we got some wood, we got some steel, some more steel. Doing fine on wood. Let's see if the scrap peddler has anything new. No, he doesn't. We'll buy up some of this though. We're fine on that. It's 20 for one. Oh, we're out of gold. Let's buy 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm gonna sell those back to him, and that. Yeah, I'm gonna sell a couple of those to him. We'll sell that down to 3. There we go. That's a happy medium, I think. Goodbye, peddler. And then I can still take on 1 repair. Or I could... let's salvage a tankard. I don't think doing any repairs right now is going to be that effective. So let's end the day. We should go to Citadel Square and talk to Uncle Man, actually. As much as I want to go back to the camp, let's go to Citadel Square and see if we can't talk to what's-his-face.
Citadel Square.
All the city's streets eventually wind their way here, the guard plaza called Citadel Square. Market stalls trace a colorful maze around its perimeter. Above it all, the high citadel looms. Built into the bones of the mountain itself, the citadel's imposing gate is carved into sheer rock. Access is limited only to those of noble blood and their guests. Look around. Wagons fresh from the waste unload their goods. A traveler in dusty leather sits on a barrel, regaling children with tales of the world outside. Listen to the traveler's tale. The traveler sits on a barrel, whittling wood, and speaks in a rasping voice that somehow carries above the squire's hubbub. Around him, a circle of children listen rapidly to every word. What the fuck's wrong with my mouth?
And so, as we finally left the leaching veil behind us, we spied the forest of wax. In the old days, those were just normal woods, but after the voices fell silent, the foul taint of wild magic twisted that place. I urged caution, but to skirt the forest would add weeks to our journey, my companion said, and spurred their horses straight into the wax-dripping trees. With heavy heart, I followed. Strange things lurked within that forest, spindly things, unnaturally long of limb, who wanted to catch us and hear our pretty screams. One by one, my companions were taken.
The orphans listened, open-mouthed.
Oh, mister, how'd you escape then?
Good luck and good instincts, my child. A traveler's 2 greatest assets.
Question the traveler. Children slink away sullenly, leaving you to the traveler alone. Continues whittling in his book of wood with a smile.
You seek my wisdom? I have seen many things, wondrous and strange, in the world beyond these walls.
It's a kitty. There's a kitty. Hi. Yup. That's right, you a kitty.
Tell me more about the Forest of Wax.
The trees aren't actually candles. You ask me, the place is a giant hive.
The traveler looks away and resumes his whittling. Apparently he's had enough on the subject. You know what happened to the old swordsmith?
The name rings a distant bell, so distant I can barely hear it. If I've met him, I can't recall when or where.
My apologies. What's up, kitty? You want attention even though you're being mean? Oh, it's a kitty. She wants attention even though she's being a butthead. Hi. Meow. Meow. No cat cam today. You know, we're playing Bladesong. Yeah, it takes up too many resources to have a camera. Yeah, I know. You're the queen, I know. I need more pets. There you go. Well, what do you want then? You just want to stand there and scream? You can come sit with me. There's room. You can sit with me. There's room. No. Okay. Okay, I'll be right here.
Any advice for a newcomer?
For food and board at acceptable prices, head to the Steady Stay, a fine place for dusty pilgrims to rest their heads, and their meat and mushroom pie may yet tempt the voices to return to this blighted land. Though, I hear they've been having difficulties lately. The atmosphere isn't as hospitable as it once was.
Ooh, new location. Your tail strike me as a little fanciful.
The traveler pauses his whittling.
He looks you up and down. I'll pour some more water.
You aren't native to the keep. I know your face.
Somebody wants my water. Now you'll come and sit with me. You say meow?
Can you say bully?
Say meow. You meow? Meow. Oh. Yeah, I got water. You greedy bitch. Oh my god. I don't know if you can hear that, but she's standing 6 inches from the mic, drinking the water out of my cup. And more cat hair in my cup. Thank you. Greedy motherfucker.
You've lived your whole life outside these walls. What did you see?
Plagues, famine, barren soil, wild beasts, and the evils of men.
Wastes aren't short on mundane horrors, but they hardly make for good stories, do they?
The scowl, he hops down from his barrel and gathers his belongings.
The hour goes late. I must depart.
I'm gonna put up a poster. You locate the public notice board near the market stalls and pin your poster among the various announcements and advertisements. A few passers-by glance over with mild interest. Okay. Let's meet with Lucas at the Fallen Doe. Lucas sits outside the Fallen Doe, deep in conversation with richly dressed men in silk brocade. When he sees you approach, he waves them away.
How can I help you, my friend?
Shove! Lucas listens to your tale with growing interest. When you tell him his niece is outside the city walls, he sits back in shock and reaches for his drink.
By the burning dead, Shavenna. I haven't seen her since she was knee-high. I thought my brother and his family all perished in the sundering. To find out my niece is alive. Not only alive, but just outside the walls. Why, it's a joyous occasion. Drink with me, my friend.
Calls over the waiter.
What's your poison? The Ashen Star Ale is excellent, but the mead is rather good too.
A glass of mead sounds perfect. Lucas smiles approvingly as you drink it alive. He raises his glass in toast.
To old faces and new friends.
He sets down the glass, though. The joy is already fading from his face.
Poor Shavenna. She must have endured great hardships to cross the waste.
Getting her through the gate will be no small feat.
Did she mention any skills? Botany? Crafting? Can she handle a sword?
Does sarcasm count as a skill? Lucas lets out a quick laugh.
For even when she was small, she had a quick wit. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to impress the guards.
Every day, the marshal grows more reluctant to issue permits. The city is already overcrowded, undersupplied.
I should go and visit her, make sure she's alright. Do you mind accompanying me? I'd appreciate the support of someone familiar with the camp.
Of course I can go. Just promise to wear something inconspicuous. Your clothes will mark you as an outsider.
Of course. Give me a day to make the necessary arrangements.
Can you help me out with Caswin? As you explain Caswin's situation, Lucas raises his glass to his lips and takes a thoughtful sip.
The tannery owner, Pradesh, is a pig. He has a reputation for hiking up interest and extending indentures well beyond their original terms. I do have some influence with him, however, a matter from years back that left him in my debt. I'll visit him tomorrow and see what I can do.
You'll help me, just like that?
If you help out here, perhaps you'll help me get Sven into the city,
Why is a tanner in your debt?
I helped his daughter, a bright and honest young woman, as different from her father as night from day. I'll leave it at that. It's not my story to tell.
How do you know him?
Oh, I know everyone in Aaron Keep. That's my job, my passion, my raison d'etre.
He chuckles, but you get the sense he's not speaking completely in jest. Thank you, Lucas. I won't forget this.
Consider it payback for telling you about my niece. See how society works? Chain of debts and obligations and favors, looping back to one single act of kindness. It's beautiful.
I wish it worked that way. You know anything about Thesson Felber?
Not much. He was here one day, gone the next. I try to see the good in everyone, but sometimes it requires a magnifying glass. Tesson was one such case. He was rude and ill-tempered, though by all accounts an honest businessman. His wife Alice was a kind soul, but sadly, under the thumb of a brute of a husband, she worked as the same... under the thumb of her brute of a husband. She worked as his assistant in the forge. She went missing around the same time as he did.
You know where I can find steel?
There's an ironmonger by the name of Quell. He used to supply your predecessor with all his steel. He's got a stall over there somewhere.
Points vaguely in the direction of the market. You know anyone who can supply me with the wood?
I know a reliable carpenter. His name's Oscar. Last I heard, he was over at the Steady Stay, helping them out after some drunk crow smashed up his place.
You already know this location. Okay. Personal matters. What do you need? What do you do, Lucas?
Can you not tell? I'm a layabout. Lazy good for nothing. I talk until my throat is hoarse, and I drink to soothe my pain. Then the drink sets my tongue waggling, and the cycle begins anew.
There's more to it than that. He chuckles.
I suppose your real question is, how did I build my fortune? Well, I know almost everyone, and almost everyone knows me. I can be trusted to keep a secret or fairly resolve a dispute. I used to be a merchant, but strangely enough, I make a better living trading connections than I ever did trading skills.
Chef told me you moved to Aaron Keep to find your fortune. Looks like it worked.
I was a rash and headstrong man in my 20s. I identified a trade route between Aaron Keep and Orellin that could turn a profit. Thought everyone else was just too stupid to notice it. But the route was less straightforward than I'd hoped. I made some marginal profit, but it wasn't long before the Houndsburg League took notice and started undercutting me at every turn. He takes a contemplative sip of beer, his eyes focused on a point in the far past.
So what did you do?
I realized my real talent wasn't in spotting trade routes, it was in spotting people. Even when my business was failing,
Water.
Even when my business was failing, other merchants would seek me out to talk through their problems. So I started hosting informal gatherings at the Fallen Doe. Just drinks and conversation. Merchants could complain about suppliers. Suppliers would grumble about shipping costs. I listened and remembered everything. Now when I connect people who can help each other, they show their thanks in their own ways. A bottle of fine wine, fresh bread at my door, a coin or two for my trouble. I never ask for payment. I just bring people together, and they show their gratitude in ways to keep me afloat. I still laugh about it sometimes. I spent years working all the hours as a frustrated merchant, but I found my true calling at the bottom of a glass of ale.
What happened to the trade route?
Worthless now. The Sundering left it riven with chasms. Orellin used to be our closest neighbor. The border was only a week's ride from here. Nowadays, it feels as distant as the stars. Yeah, okay, that's it. A pleasure. Leave Chef's plight with me for the moment. There must be someone who owes me a favor.
Okay.
Search the marketplace. Diplomacy 65. That's a good chance. You walk beneath the awning, keeping an eye out for anyone who's selling steel. Failure. Fortunately, nothing notable catches your eye, but this seems a promising spot to find a more reliable source of iron than the scrap peddler. The sun is clipped below the horizon. Curfew draws near. The city watch swings their bells and shouts at citizens to make their way home. Evening air grows chill, and the warmth of home beckons. Down steep and winding streets you go, leaving the bustle of Citadel Square behind.
Hi, kitty. You want to sit with me?
Or you want more water?
You want more water? Come on. Come on up. You want more water? You know where it is. It's right here. Right here.
She wants more water. I had to sweeten the pot. I had to fill it up a little bit more. Water. You know? You know what I say with me? Water's gotta come to you. Water's gotta come to you. Yeah, water's gotta go to her. I swear to God. Water. Yeah, it's water. It's my water. She fucking loves water. She's scratching the shit out of the blanket she's standing on while drinking the water. And she does the same thing while drinking out of her water cup. She just fucking loves it. Okay? No better? You feel like any woman? Yeah. Big huff. Okay. Ooh. Jarl. Why is that gold? Huh. Oh. Faction reputation. Crows plus 48. Factions? I guess I have to take this one. A young crow swaggers in, covered in filth and scars. First time in Iron Keep, I was told you're the one to go to. Nice here in civilization, ain't it? Nice and soft, like a pig's belly. Need something that'll make these soft city folk piss themselves. Sharp enough to gut a man proper. Jesus Christ, dude. Speed. Sharpness. A heavy hand. Hand and a half. Blunt point. I don't know if I want your reputation. Yamo. Need a bladesmith. Something light but sharp. A real throat cutter. Had a bit of trouble last week. I aim to make sure it won't happen again. Medium long, heavy impact, sharpness, leather, two-handed broadpoint. I don't know. Ezek. Watchman walks in the... okay, another drunk guard. And a mystery item. Roman. Another well-to-do. 139. Well, let's get some rep, I guess, with the crows. So, medium short, speed, sharpness, hand and a half. Okay. Blunt point. Oh. Huh. Interesting. Well, we'll do this one. Length. Okay. Short. Thickness. Okay. Cross section. Nice and sharp. We need to make it skinnier. Can we adjust the cross section again? There we go. Okay. So we'll do sure. Freaking this guy, an Aquilian block, and then That. And then a cheap pommel. Shoop. Here we go. That's all he wants. Okay. Weird ass sword. I guess I could round out the tip of it. I could. I'm not going to, though. This is a square sword. This is a square edge. There you go, bud. Snatches blade, immediately makes a few savage press cuts through the air.
The city might be full of milk bloods, but at least you know how to forge a proper blade. Not many weapons like this left in the world outside these walls. Time to see if these arena fights are worth it.
Oh. Weird. Okay. You've gained reputation with the factions. Select the highlighted button to see how to reach the next rank. Oh. Factions. Crows. 48 out of 250. Huh. I got a point. I want bending before I take engraving, I think. Because this will let me do some fun stuff. So I've got 2 action points left. Didn't get really anything fun out of that. Okay. 10 thalers and some money. Okay. You just want it sharpened? Sharpness 1. Well. Okay. Cross section 2. And then I gotta do another cross section, I think. No. We're gonna do taper thickness. This is what we're gonna do. And then overall thickness. There we go. And can I... You are now able to scale sword parts. Pick up any sword part, then hold W and S to scale. That's scaling. Yeah, I don't... It's not... Jesus. Okay. Oops. Well, I just stole one of your engravings, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know I can do that. I know. So I can look at engravings, but it won't let me touch anything else. I'm just... Oh, balance. Oh. The hilt and the blade. Okay. There we go. Done. It won't let me grab anything. Okay. Yeah. Alright. We're just gonna offer it to him. I'm just stealing all your engravings, buddy. No engravings for you. Okay. They're just gonna offer it to him. I can't. I think it's because it's a previous sword, so I can't. Grins as he takes the weapon, swinging experimentally. Oh, it's gonna be good. Thanks. Stole your engravings. Failure creep. 10 ability. What? Huh? I don't know what that was about. Okay. We'll do another repair. No, I think we're just going to scrap something instead. That gives me just straight up... Oh, no. That gave me some silver, too. Oh, well, okay. So that's pretty good. End the day. So I think if I go... the steady stay, Citadel Square. So if I go to Citadel Square, I can go with Lucas to the camp and get Chev out of there, which I should do because it's getting deadly out there. Okay. Meet with Lucas at the Fallen Doe. Well, yeah. Yeah. Lucas sits outside the Fallen Doe, deep in conversation with her. Yep, he waits my way. Ah, there you are. Thanks for bringing word of my niece. Are you ready to go get Chev? Aye, I'm ready. Lucas has shoed his usual finery for simple peasant clothes. You still look too clean. So I can smear some mud on my face once we're past the outer gate. He stands from his table, knocking back the last of his drink, and gestures for you to follow. Follow him. Ooh. Back to the camp.
The camp.
Outside the walls of Iron Keep, desperate souls gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Though you've gained residency in the city, visiting this place brings back an onslaught of painful memories. Lucas steps delicately through the churned mud and puddled sewage, staring about in pure horror. The applicants gaze resentfully back, their eyes hollow and skull-like faces. He may be dressed shabbily, but he's clearly an outsider. He has meat on his bones.
I had no idea it was like this.
Any one of these people would skin you alive, for life is the lowest beggar in Iron Keep. I should know.
It's worse than I ever imagined.
Men fall silent. You pick your way through the ragged tents until you finally reach Shavenna. She's caught sight of her tent, gnawing at a chicken bone. Get her attention. She glances up, then her mouth turns into a perfect O of shock when she sees Lucas. She rushes to him, enveloping him in a fierce hug.
Chev, I can't believe it. You really are here.
Uncle, you came.
By the burning dead, your skin and bone, girl. Here, take this.
Lucas has brought as much food as he could spare from his weekly rations. A loaf of dark bread, 3 withered apples, and a chunk of salted meat wrapped in cloth. Chev attacks it with gusto, tearing into the bread like a ravenous wolf. Hide that food. You'll attract attention. Chev nods, drawing you and Lucas into the privacy of her tent.
You weren't lying. She actually is here. I can hardly believe my little niece traveled all this way and survived so many hardships. Thank you for letting me know where to find her.
I thought you should know about it. It really didn't cost me anything to tell you.
I don't know how I can thank you enough, Smith. I'll be forever grateful. Here, Uncle, sit down. We have so much to talk about.
Sit with them. See the Chev and Lucas for a long time as the two of them catch up. They avoid discussing the stories of their survival since the Sundering, Chev's harrowing journey across the wasteland, Lucas's comfortable rise within Iron Keep society. Instead, they stick to old family anecdotes, comforting and bittersweet.
You were so excited from the puppet show. You were sick right down my back. Your father laughed until he cried.
Chev is laughing and crying too, wiping away tears as she lives the memory.
Those were better days. I miss the world we used to have.
Aye, lass. So does everyone.
I wish we could chat all day, but we're going to need to head back soon before it gets dark.
Our next step, Shavenna, is to get you safely into Iron Keep. Every day you're out here carries a risk.
How do you propose we do that?
When I'm back in Iron Keep, I'll call in all the favors I can. I know the Marshal's been clamping down hard on permits recently. Perhaps I can pull off one miracle.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Chev?
Chev, is there anything you need?
Actually, yes. When my uncle's busy calling in favors, could you make me a sword? Something lightweight, small but sharp?
She shivers, her eyes scanning the dark shapes of the temps around her.
I can't pay you, but I'd appreciate it. I'm starting to worry the rusty bread knife under my pillow isn't enough.
Yeah, no problem. I can do it.
I'll pay you for your time, Smith. I insist on it.
I also wouldn't object if you brought me some food, Smith, just once in a while. Food and pleasant company are both in scarce supply out here. It's getting dark. We have to go.
Oh, it's getting dark. We have to go. Stay safe, Shavenna.
Chev smiles often, but her smiles are always tinged by bitterness or sorrow. Now she smiles genuinely, and it's like the sun bursting through the clouds. Aww.
I will, Uncle. Thanks for everything.
The two embrace somewhat awkwardly, and then you accompany Lucas as he makes his way back to the city. The hollow stairs of the other applicants follow you all the way to the outer gate. Okay. There we go.
Okay. So Amarth is with the crows.
Oh no, she's with the crows. And the bloody cloaks? Okay. Okay. A woman at your workshop's entrance is tall and lithe, clad in fine, filth black leathers. Her black hair twisted around what looks like a human femur. Okay. Her cloak trails the ground behind her, its edges splattered crimson.
Greetings to you, Smith. I be Amerth, fourth sword of the Bloody Cloaks, and I seek a sword to cut down my foes like grain of the harvest. We Bloody Cloaks are a merry lot. You can find our encampment in the Lost City, if ye be inclined to take a brew with us.
Ah.
Why are you called the Bloody Cloaks? She swishes her cloak with a grin. Each recruit gets a white cloak, and it's their task to turn it crimson with battle blood. If the cloak is still white after your first taste of combat, you're given the boot. Who do the Bloody Cloaks fight for? The wastes are full of warlords, men who rule through strength and cunning, and they constantly war with each other over territory, loot, and slaves. You can make a pretty living working for one side or the other, and everyone knows the Bloody Cloaks are the best in the business of butchery, so we get paid top coin. Why are you camped outside the keep? She rolls her eyes. I ask Silas the same question every morning. There's no fights here, I tells him, no coin to be earned, but he follows the beat of his own drum, does Silas. He insists there's some great violence brewing in the keep, and he wants to be here when it breaks out. What kind of blade do you want? Nothing fancy, something that'll split skulls and pierce breastplates. Make sure it sparks fear in the heart. Okay. I'm gonna do Lucas and Mena. Lucas strolls into your workshop. Glancing around with curious eyes and a broad smile, he walks over to your rack of tools and waves a hammer in his hand. By the dead, this thing is heavy. Or maybe it's just been too long since I lifted anything heavier than a nail mug. You should spend a day working a forge, see how your muscles feel after that. A tempting offer, but I think the work is best left to the professionals. I'm sure you know why I'm here. I need a blade for my Shavenna. Something to keep her safe in that horrendous camp. Short, sharp, concealable. It's no good to her if someone steals it. Can you start right away? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's decent pay. I mean, I'll do it. We'll get right to it. Thank God it doesn't need to be too long. Want it nice and sharp and short. Okay. All right, we're gonna go thickness. Okay, that's as thin as it can get. Can I make it thinner? I'm really curious. Nope. Okay. Taper thickness. No, that doesn't work because it's as thin as you can get. Point. Narrow point. There we go. Actually, no. We're gonna do point. And then one side of the blade. Okay. Oh. I guess that doesn't do what I wanted it to do. Okay. Alright then. Cross section. Boop. Okay. Can we make it a little convex without losing sharpness? Not very. Okay. Let's give it nice smooth fuller. It runs the length of the blade because I fucking can. And then let's curve it. I want to curve this fucker. Fun. Okay. Bub. Let's see here. Anything else I can do? Not really. Not yet. Close that. Okay. Let's see here. Give you a square cross. Make it smaller. And then... Oh.
Bend. Bend a fucker. Yay.
Yay! Okay. One-handed? Boop. What happened? Curious about something. Okay, that counts as one-handed. It does a... It's doing a weird thing with the tang there. Okay, can we take this? No. Okay, well, we'll just do this. It'll be kind of weird, I guess. Can we take you and fix that a little? No. Of course not. Okay, it's gonna be a little weird. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. Okay, we want to make it nice and pretty for... Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Give me another one of those. Okay, and then she wants leather. Lots of leather. What? Curious. Huh. Okay. Sure. Hi, kitty. You humming? You cooing? You'll be a cool? Yeah. Okay. Well, this sword kind of came out a little weird because the hilt is a little strange. I wonder about something. It doesn't really fuck with anything, and it doesn't fix that, so... actually, it kind of did. Oops. No. Yeah, I didn't really change it. Okay. What?
What do you want? You want attention now? Now you want attention. Now Kitty wants attention. You're awfully needy today. You're being awfully silly. Yeah. Yeah. Meow. What? Meow. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, I love you too. You're a silly girl. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's a really, really weird dagger you had me make, but okay. Once the blade is done, you send a messenger to fetch Lucas. He arrives at your forge within the hour. Let's see it, Smith. I hope it's a blade worthy of my niece. Show him the dagger. He holds it up to the light, rubbing his chin thoughtfully, twisting it this way and that. Then he smiles ruefully. To tell the truth, Smith, I know nothing about blades, nothing at all, but this one looks fine to me. I'll arrange your payment, every penny well earned. Are you going to take this to Chev? Ah, no, I'm afraid not. That's your job. I'd do it, but I'm still busy trying to call in favors on her behalf, and to tell the truth, the camp discomforts me. Give her my love. Hopefully some cold steel will keep her safe from the camp's dangers while we arrange her rescue. Okay. Well, may I finally get to see, like, an entire sword that I made.
All the way down to the tippy top point.
Okie dokie. Getting low.
Scrap peddler. Got anything new for me?
50. Yeah, we'll buy that. And, we need to get up a ways on this. So we'll go to, I think, 9. And we'll go to 100. There we go. Close.
See ya. I got a new die, so that's good.
So Mina. One appears at your forge, bouncing from foot to foot with irrepressible energy. Her smile is broad and utterly guileless.
Oh, wonderful! You're here. I need a sword. I probably won't even use it, but everyone seems to have one these days, don't they?
You get a pendant? A helmet? 54 thalers. Okay. So something real short. Just fine. She wants a real sharp, one-handed, narrow point. Okay. Thickness. Let's see if we can do it at... Okay, 0.51. Let's make it a little bit more narrow. Actually, no. Let's do a little bit wider. And then she wants a narrow point. Okay. And then let's taper the thickness. And then cross section. A little more. A little more. Here we go. Let's give you a full length fuller. Make it look real cool.
Make it look cool. Do the roar.
Width. There we go. Okay. We want to bend it. We could bend it.
Nah. Nah.
Okay, so she wants twisted steel. Give it a... Give it a... Give it a... What if we just did... So just one-handed. Kind of guard do we want? We can just give it a Quillian block. Like that. And then mild taper. Nah. Yeah. I want it to look good. I don't have a lot of guard options. I guess we could do one of these and make it a little bit bigger. And then do this. And then, what kind of pommel? I think a ring pommel looks good for something like this. That looks pretty cool. That's a good dagger. Yeah. Yeah. We'll make it a fine wood, though. Nice oak or walnut or something like that. It'll be bee sting. There you go, Mina. She squeals with delight as she takes the sword, holding it up to admire from every angle. Oh my goodness, it's so pointy. I could properly stab someone with this. She punctuated her statement by jabbing at the ear. How long do you think it'll take me to become an expert in swordplay if I practice every day? 3 weeks? 4? Get out. Get out. Just get out. Pendant. What is this? I could salvage it. Huh. Okay, end the day. Didn't make a whole lot of money. So I gotta go to Chev. Let's get Chev the hell out of there.
The camp. Welcome back to the camp.
Outside the walls of Aaron Keep, desperate souls gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Now that you've gained residency in the city, visiting this place brings back an onslaught of painful memories. Find Sandrick Maunder. Some hideous illness is rippling through the camp. The moans of the dying mingle with the sobs of the bereaved. Flybone corpses lie beside overstuffed graves. If you walk towards Sandrick's tent, you spot Clodo, limping through the mud. He looks at you with doleful eyes, then hobbles away with his head downcast. Follow the dog. The dog leads you over to churned mud, through ragged tents, past hordes of coughing near skeletons whose eyes follow you with blazing jealousy. At last, Clodo steps outside Sandrick's tent. He barks once softly and pads inside. Enter the tent. Sandrick Maunder, the last son of the Maunder clan, is lying on his bedroll. The boy looks nothing more than rags draped over bones. He's not breathing. Clodo pads over and gently nudges his fallen master. Sandrick's body shifts slightly, then settles back into place. A few flies lift and start circling the tent. Examine the corpse. You don't know what got him first, starvation or disease. Most likely a combination of the two. Sandrick Maunder is dead, far too young. Clodo raises his head in a mournful howl. Bury the boy. You dig one more grave beside the others. Sandrick is so light in your arms, he's hardly there at all. You lower him gently into the muddy hole you've dug. Clodo stands at the graveside, oddly silent and solemn. Whisper, rest in peace, Sandrick. Your shovel bites dirt. Spadefuls of earth shower the grave, covering Sandrick's pale face. Feeling the grave takes what energy you had left. You need to head home before you collapse where you stand. You are now exhausted. Let's roll the dice. Feed him a strip of dried meat and put his flank, but Clodo remains fixed in place, his eyes downcast, the sun sinks slow in the sky. Failure. A moment of pulling or calling will stir him. Dog won't abandon his dead master no matter what. Finally, you're forced to give up. Well, okay. Great. Earth. Nothing fancy. Okay. So speed. Medium length. Ba ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum bum. So we want high speed, so it's got to be pretty thin. Okay, we should probably make it pretty narrow. Actually, let's do this. Taper width. And then cross section it out. Make it super frickin' pointy. And then like that. Give it a long fuller because that'll cut down on weight. Okay. We need to make it narrower. Oh, that's tapering the width. Speed. Light and has little mass near the point. A longer handle further improves this rating. Ah. Okay. Taper width. Okay. And then I wonder if bending it. Yeah, we'll just do this. Wants the heavy hand. Oh, not what I meant to do. Do something stupid like that. Okay. There we go. And then Brazil nut. Beep. Stupid ass looking sword. We're gonna call you the horseshoe. There you go. Amber takes a fresh forward's blade with a glint of violence in her eye.
Oh, I can wreak some terrible havoc with this. Thank you, Smith. Much obliged.
She scatters coins across the counter and marches out. Bloodstained cloak fluttering behind her. Okay.
It's a horseshoe, all right. Ugly ass sword. Ooh, leather bag. Ooh, I seen the leather bag. Ooh, money.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and yeah, we'll go ahead and scrap this. Yeah, get some more steel out of it. Okay. We need to get to the camp because apparently I fucked that up. Being nice and burying somebody. Okay. So you got Chev. She's sitting outside her tent, pale and gaunt as ever. As she approaches, she stifles a cough. Spotting her hesitation, she smiles sadly. I know what you're thinking. Has she got the malady that's spreading around camp? Truth is, I don't know. But I surely don't feel right. Better stand upwind, just in case. Have you made me a sword yet? There's whispers in the camp about folk going missing at night. I feel better with a blade at my side. Have some food. He brought some bread and cheese. Not much, after all. Rationing is still enforced within city limits, but still a feast by the camp standards. When you offer it to her, Chev falls upon it with savage determination. Only after it's gone and she's picking individual crumbs from her clothes does she speak. Sorry if my table manners offend. You know what it's like out here. Here's your sword. May it serve you well. Smiling, she attempts a few experimental jabs at the air. Now if anyone comes after me in the night, I can give them something to think about. By the way, has Lucas found a way to get me into the city? I'm not sure. I'll go ask him. Thank you. Yeah, goodbye, Chev. Let's talk to Clodo. Sat in his haunches beside his master's grave. Looks thinner than the last time you saw him. Roll the dice. Nope. Oi.
Hey, that sucks.
Okay, I'm no longer exhausted.
Heinrich.
How do I... Like, how do I up these? I don't know how I train. I haven't come across anything that lets me, like, train. So I got 3, 2 4s, and a 10. So I could take any combination of these. 2 of any of these. So Oliver, material gold, but he'll pay me 210, and I get a reward. Fuck. No, it's not worth it. Like, 210 is nice, but it's not worth it. Not for gold. Not when gold is like 20 a piece. Because I would need like... Yeah, I need at least 5 gold. I mean, I got 6. Is it worth it? Not really, because that's 100 gold straight out of my pocket. Or 100 thalers. Brandon. Wants a replacement blade. Pays 76. Ryle. Riley. She wants a new one. She'll pay 78. Ooh. We're taking hers, because that's a book. 13. I get some back from salvage. Yeah. Okay. Medium short. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, mobility is there. One-handed narrow point. Okay. Okay. Narrow point. Here we go. Cross section. Boop, boop, bop, boop, bop, beep. Fuller. Yeah, right about there. That's good to me. Cool. I don't want to curve it at all. Curvature. Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's make this a weird sword. Another curvature. Nope, no, the other way. That way. I'm gonna snake the shit out of this sword. Come on. Bend, goddammit. Bend! Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Come on. Keep going. Yeah, I like that. I like that. A little more? A little more. Okay. Cool. Up. Okay. Let's do the cell sword. A little smaller. Yep. Oh, you know what? We're gonna bend it. We gotta bend it. We gotta make it look fancy. Okay. We wanna do... Get... What the hell? Get on there. Okay.
fine. Take this. A little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Gonna make it look weird. Alright. Alright.
This is a slithering sword.
There you go, Riley. Takes the new blade in hand, nodding with satisfaction at the familiar balance. Feels like my old blade, back when it was new. I forgot what a proper edge looked like. Might as well take my old steel, forge it into something new. I'll take better care of this one. Ooh. Cool. Looks fucking strange, but okay. Rise and shine. What did that do for me? Rise and shine. Mild riser, strong riser, regular for rule, and one more. Cool. Okay. Do I take it and make a fucking gold sword? Okay. Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Oh, welcome in, Nefaris. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. For the price, I think it's pretty good, especially if you can get it on sale. I think it was $1 off when I bought it. There's a lot more in it than what was in the demo. The story is a lot more in depth. There's factions that you can cater to so far in this. There's already a lot more sword making options. I think it's worth getting. It's probably the prettiest blade making simulator game I've seen so far. It's got a good story. There's good characters in it. It's got decent music. The upgrade tree is a lot more expanded than what was in the demo. If you're on the fence, I would say try out the free demo. It's like an hour plus of gameplay in the story and then a lot of free crafting stuff in it. I think it's really good. I think it's worth it. But welcome in, welcome in. How's your day going? This guy... yeah. Personally, I think it's worth it. Yeah, I like it. I think, I mean, you can make some fucking ridiculous-ass swords, now in the full game. As an example, this guy wants me to spend at least 5 gold on this sword. Use up 5 gold materials, which is gonna be a fucking chore. He wants a broad point. Let's just make it a one-sided. Does that count? No. Okay, so it's gotta be a double-sided. We want a broad point on this. Hey! Say I want a whole thing. There we go. Broad point. A little bit more. There we go. Cross section. It doesn't really matter because this is a show sword. It's got an edge. Bop. Oh wow, it's late then. Glad to hear your day's been okay though. I'm tempted to make the sword of this blade out of gold, but we'll see. So let's see here. I just unlock part bending, so now I can do this. We'll go ahead and make it stupid. No, not that one. You want to do that one? No. A 4 ring we can put on it if we wanted to. I don't know. Ah, sweeps and loops. Do one of these. Like that. I think that's not bad. Can we bend you up? No, no. Can I bend it up? There we go. So he wants it to be two-handed. Oh. Well. I don't want you there. I want you, like, over. Ugh. Some bits of this are a little bit finicky. Up in there, please. There we go. This direct. Whoop! Nope, not the thing I meant to grab. Whoop. Okay. And you. Now it's two-handed. I definitely would say this fucker's overcompensating. Let's see here. A riser. Oh. Okay, so we can give it some katana if we wanted to. So he wants some peens. We'll make it weird as hell. Oop. Oh, 3 unique peens. And a circular one. Weird ass fuck ass sword. There, you can have the weird end to it. And then we need 2 leather. We'll make it brown. I said brown. And then gold. Required at least 5. I'm down to 3. What? I thought I had more. Oh, it needs 5 gold points. Okay. That's not going to be enough. I need to add some more crap to this ugly ass sword. Fine. We will add some more crap to this ugly ass sword and make it into gold. And then we got to buy more gold. You get to be gold. Oh my god. Ugly ass sword. Ugly ass sword. It's an ugly ass sword. What happens if I make this into gold? Okay, so I could do that. I need 11 gold to make that happen, but I also need another leather wrap. So we'll do that. Oh, god damn it. Okay. That doesn't work. Alright. More junk. Put more junk on the sword. Put some more junk on the sword. No. I guess put it there. Precious metals. Okay. Put a bunch of risers on it if we can. Make those out of gold. Okay. Oh, and you. Remember, this is a sword that's never going to be drawn. Okay.
Oh my god. Small pommels of the hilt guard. Yeah. I mean, you mean something stupid like that? Not enough resources. Yeah, I don't have... Oh, yeah, so we've got a limited number of... Oh, because I don't have enough gold. That's fine. Could do something just utterly dumb. Give me another one. Where's my gold at? There we go. I don't want to use up too much gold, so we'll take some stuff off. Make you steel. Make you steel. Yeah, that's exactly my thinking. You know what, let's take you off. So now it's too much gold. Oh, nope, I need to leave that one gold. What else can we undo? You? Is that enough to bring it down? I don't want this sword to be ugly. I think that's about as close as we're gonna get. So I need to go buy 6 more gold. So really this sword is not gonna be profitable. So one of the nice things you can do is you can leave mid-forging, go to the shop, and buy more gold. So I need 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're 20 apiece, so I just spent 120. So yeah, this sword is not profitable. Okay, good to know. Go back into here, return to the forge. Bada bing. I now have enough gold. It's going to drain all my gold. The sword's name is Uggo. Okay. Plump man smiles like a contented seal as he draws the sword partway. Steel glimmers. Fine blade indeed. Perhaps I shall recommend my services to your friend. Book name for it is La Candelabra. Based. Ugh. Fuck ass sword. Fuck ass sword. Oh my god. I'm ashamed that I made that sword. Okay. So there's my resource point. You made... yeah. I ate up all my gold, though. It did give me a lot of experience, though, so I guess it was worth it. Doesn't make me feel good. And I'm out of steel. Or getting low on steel, so I'll have to do a day of just, like, scrapping stuff. Every time I click off the screen, it silences the game. So, I mean, I'll get some stuff, scrapping steel back. Okay. Let's see here. If you have the right stats, you can save the family. I did not. I fucked up in the event and they died. But if you have the correct stats and you roll the dice correctly, you have a chance to. Because I think if you fend off the big demon bat, you can save them from that attack. I don't know what happens if you manage to do that as a result, if you can get them out or not. I'm currently working on getting the nice lady out, Sheva. The dog is the only one left of the family in my playthrough. There's the Bloody Cloaks is one of the factions. There's a carpenter here I need to talk to.
This is where I talk to the ironmonger. There's the tannery. We'll go to the tannery and see if we can forward that quest a little bit. Because I'm trying to get myself an apprentice. There's a kid that works here, and he's an indentured servant, essentially, to the tannery owner. Basically a slave. Tannery's horrific stench is better than any signpost. You follow it to the source, where men and women teeter on wooden walkways, using long poles to stir the vats. Birds circle overhead, mangy dogs hunch at the outskirts. So, Caswin is the name of the kid that I'm trying to recruit, the young man. He's in debt to the tannery's owner, who are basically carrying over his debt from a group of sellswords or something. And he wants a ridiculous sum of money, like $2,000 to get the kid out of debt, which is absurd. And we talked to Shev's uncle about getting her out of the encampment, and he in turn went and supposedly talked to the tannery's owner, because apparently the tannery's owner owes him a favor. Pradesh is leaning back at his desk, feet up, a cloth napkin placed carefully over his eyes as he snoozes. When you enter, he sighs and lifts up one of the napkin's corners.
You again. What do you want?
Has Lucas spoken to you about Caswin's debts?
He scowls as though hoping you'd forget to mention Lucas at all. He came by this morning. I don't know why he's calling in a favor for this, of all things.
What's the history between you and Lucas?
My daughter has never liked me. She was so shy, so sad, but so clever. She was nothing more than to study at St. Marigor's College up on Horizon Hill. That's all she cared about. But they had no time for a tanner's child, and my sway in the league meant nothing to them. They dismissed me as an ignorant oaf, and her as a stuttering wife. I turned to Lucas for help, and he met with the Magister. Never told me what was said, but my daughter was accepted the next day, and now she's actually happy.
So are you willing to release Caswin?
No, it's asking too much, even for Lucas.
He pulls a ledger from a drawer and makes a show of flipping through it, running a finger down columns of figures.
Caswin's debt is substantial, 10 more years of labor at minimum, and the man's already been treated with unusual leniency. If I freed him without payment, I'd be a laughingstock. However, out of respect for Boreona, I could...
He grimaces as though in physical agony.
I'll reduce the settlement amount. Instead of the full 2,000 thalers his contract is worth to me, I can accept a mere 300 for his immediate release. That's as far as my gratitude extends.
Yeah, he's inflating the shit out of his debts. Stench of this place isn't as half as far. What happened to all that stuff about your daughter finally being happy?
My daughter's opportunity was indeed priceless to our family, but Caswin represents significant value. 300 thalers is already a considerable reduction. At the end of the day, I still have a business to run.
Alright, no way I could make the toughness. But I'll buy his freedom. $300 for an apprentice? Yeah. The tanner's eyes follow your hands as you count out 300 thalers onto his desk. Each clink eases the tension in his fleshy face.
Let it never be said I'm not a man of my word. Caswin's indenture is terminated, effective immediately. Please give my regards to Lucas when next you see him. Tell him we're even.
Those words had to hurt. You were shown out of his office. Find Caswin. Caswin doesn't notice your approach at first. He's focused entirely on scraping a hide stretched across a wooden frame, his broad shoulders hunched in concentration. The muscles in his forearms flex with each practiced stroke of his curved knife. This kid is strong, by the way. I'm a full-time blacksmith, and he was carrying this cart. I had trouble pushing the cart around for like 20 minutes, and he pushed it around like 8 hours a day. I mean, this dude he's fucking buff for a kid. As you approach, he sets down his tool and wipes his stained hands on his apron. Well met, Smith. Sorry about the smell. Is there anything you need? I paid off your debts, dude. You're free to do whatever you want. Caswin stares at you, uncomprehending. He glances towards the office building, then back at you. I don't... There must be some mistake. My indenture has 10 more years. Around you, other workers have paused their tasks, watching the exchange with guarded interest. You're serious, aren't you? How much did you pay? Don't worry about that. Focus on your freedom. Thank you, Smith. Really, this means I have my life back. I don't know how I could ever repay you. There's a place at my forge, if you want it. Caswin nods mechanically, still processing. Then as reality sinks in, he stands straighter. A flush of color returns to his sallow cheeks. Whatever skills I have are yours. I'll see you tomorrow. With a newfound purpose, he tucks his skinning knife into his waistband and goes to wash himself clean of the tannery stench. Okay. I'm not working for an evening. That's fool's game. I get leather for free from trades and stuff. It'll take weeks to get the smell out of your clothes.
I think I got myself an apprentice.
As you prepare to open up shop for the day, there's a knock on your door. Caswin stands before you, a broad smile on his face. Hello, Smith. I'm here for the assistant job. I'm here for the assistant job. If you still want me. I didn't go through all that trouble just to leave you to starve. He steps into your forge, looking around with an appraising gaze. Like what you see? Reminds me of home. That's right, he had a blacksmith's background. He assisted his father, I think, as a blacksmith. He brushes his fingertips over your rack of tools, lingering for a moment on each. Been a while since I've set foot in a forge. Show me how you get the fires burning. Given a task to perform, Caswin's anxiety disappears. With swift movements, he shovels charcoal into the hearth, then pumps the bellows until the forge is filled with blazing heat. He looks up at you, wiping the sweat from his brow. That's how I'd do it. Welcome to my shop. Thank you again. You won't regret this. Yay! Quest completed! Hooray! He grabs a broom and begins sweeping away yesterday's ashes. And before I forget, if you want to buy leathers, don't go to the tanner. You'll get better prices if you go to the huntress. Her rates are cheaper, and I can tan the hides she sells. Fuck, yes. Okay. So the huntress is somebody we met at the tannery earlier today. You can usually find her drinking at the den in the evenings. You're already coming in useful. A broad smile crosses Caswin's face as he sweeps. He turns away quickly to hide it. Hell yeah! Fuck yeah. So, Caswin is usually a flurry of activity. Sweeping, shoveling charcoal, pumping the bellows. For once, though, you catch him in a moment's respite. Thanks again for pulling me out of the tannery. I have some questions about Aaron Keep. I'll answer as best I can. He wipes the sweat from his grimy brow, waiting your next words. Are the people really loyal to the Masked King? Depends on what you mean by loyal. Most folks in Aaron Keep are grateful to be inside these walls. Everyone knows the Masked King keeps us safe. Without him, we'd be fodder for the crows. And then there's the other side of the coin, isn't there? Terror. People fear what would happen to them if they weren't loyal. What about the Houndsburg League? Caswin's face darkens instantly. His shoulders tense and his hands curl into fists at his sides before he consciously relaxes them. Well, you can probably guess how I feel about them, seeing as they kept me in the tannery as little more than a slave for near 5 years. 15 fucking years. Their emblem is an armored fist clutching wheat. The wheat represents prosperity. The fist? And that speaks for itself. Break a contract with the League and they break you. Simple as that. Marshall looks the other way. The Masked King too. Maybe they're in the League's pocket, or maybe they just need what the League brings in. Either way, there's no justice to be found when the Houndsburg League decides you belong to them. What are your thoughts on the Magisterium? Caswin adjusts his leather apron nervously, callous fingers fidgeting with the straps. Sometimes I wonder what the scholars have in that library of theirs. Records from the Sundering, maybe. True accounts of what actually happened, not just the stories we tell each other. Not that they'd ever let a tanner as near those precious scrolls. Can you imagine? They'd throw me out of my arse faster than the watch clears the squares at curfew. Are you sure about that? The Magisterium probably have need of literate men like you. Do you think so? I never even considered. He catches himself and laughs self-consciously. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful to be here at the Forge, doing what my father did and his father before him, and what my brother never got the chance to do. This is 1,000 times better than the tannery. Still, to just sit among all the knowledge, I can scarcely imagine what an honor it would be. What do you know about the Marshal? He's the Masked King's right hand. He commands the city watch and oversees law and justice in the city. The Masked King doesn't give speeches. The Marshal makes up for that. He gives a lot of speeches. Whenever there's a parade, he's the one on the podium, declaring some new law or tax. Always for our own good, of course. Change the topic. Cashman takes a sip of tea, his burly shoulders rising and falling in a quiet sigh. Personal questions? Well, if you must. What are you always scribbling away in that journal of yours? Oh, this? Cashman brushes bright crimson, holding up the leather journal that dangles from his belt. Sorry, if you think it's interfering with my work, I can stop. Caswin, you need to stand up for yourself more. Just tell me what you're writing. Sorry. I'll stand up for myself more, I promise. He opens the journal and thrusts it into your hands. It's filled with tiny, cramped handwriting that appears to be written some kind of indecipherable shorthand. This is my commonplace book. It's where I jot down all my thoughts, the things I've learned, notable events or quotes, a little poetry that I'm sure is just doggerel. My mind is ever a jumble. If I write something down, it helps me bring peace to the chaos. Not that anyone will ever read my nonsense. You're a surprisingly intelligent fellow. Caswin chuckles, looking down at his brawny, tannin-stained hands. It's nice of you to say, but intelligent men don't end up working off debts in a tanner. You'd be fucking surprised. How did you ever get so deep in debt to the Houndsburg League anyway? My brother Elam was crippled in the Discordant War. A chorister sung him into service on a crusade, and he was forced-marched for days. No food, no sleep. The choristers didn't understand human needs, you know. He wasn't wearing the right kind of shoes. His feet were shredded from the endless miles, and they got infected. When they couldn't walk anymore, the crusade just marched on, left him by the road to die. The song trance had finally worn off by the time I found him, and he was begging for death. Jesus. Many suffered in the Discordant War. War changes people, makes men into monsters or martyrs. There's rarely anything in between. In any case, Elam never walked again. In Aaron Keep, we found a healer who claimed she could restore the use of his legs. Expensive, but what choice did I have? Elam had always looked after me. It was my turn to return the favor. She wanted payment up front. A lot of coin. A lot. I should have known something was wrong. She took the money and vanished. I think it broke Elam's spirit. He died not long after. I was left with no brother, no money, and a mountain of debt. I'm sorry that happened to you. Worse things happen to other folk. At least I'm still here. He studies his hands, permanently darkened by tannins. His eyes are haunted, his gaze pointed deep into the past. Then with a sigh, he straightens his back and rolls his shoulders. You hear the creak and crackle of his bones. I should get back to work. Okay. Let's get back to work. Yes, of course. Interesting. I'm guessing that'll lead to other things later on. I still don't know how I get my action points higher. Or how I get my other points higher. Like, my knowledge I got from my background. I honestly don't know how I get other things higher. Mason needs a blade. Lincoln just wants a sword. It's not paying much. I don't have a whole lot of options here. I think what I'll do is I'll take a Lincoln. A simple, medium, short sword. And then I can spend the rest of my points scrapping my stuff. And that'll get me my next level. Okay. Alright. Length. Okay. Stiffness. Thicker blade. Experiment with distal tapering, hollow cross sections, and fullers to keep the blade low. Okay. So, thickness. And one more. And then taper thickness. Hit the frickin' thing. Okay. So now we got a good stiffness. Let's cross-section this bad boy up. Let's make it convex. Because we can.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, chunky boy.
There's a chunky boy.
Alright. Let's widen it a little bit. And then we're going to taper the width. And then we'll get a point. He wants a narrow point. There we go. And then let's get a nice fuller on this fucker. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. You shrink it up a little bit. Let's bend it. Yeah, like that. Dope. Okay. One-handed. Oop. You make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. And then big old pommel. Here's a big old pommel. Boop. We want, yeah, we'll give him one of these bad boys. Right near the middle. Boop. Okay. It's a fun sword. Let's see here. I want more metal. Like, I don't have copper or bronze or anything yet, so I want more of those. I'm hoping that I'll unlock some more metals soon. I'll give them a little black leather on there. Glam it up a little bit. We could make the pommel oak. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's a good sword. There's a good sword, Lincoln. Big man's eyes flicker over the blade. He grunts with satisfaction, drops a bag of coins in your waiting palm. Nice. One thing that I'm hoping they fix is that they let you see more of the sword before the fade out. Because you rarely get to see the end of the sword. See? Level 8! Hooray! Cool. So, we can finally get engraver. So now I can start making some fun stuff on the blades and the handles and all kinds of things. Boop-a-doo-doo. So the next one. So salvaging mastery, we get that up to 15%. We can polish our metal now, so it's not as rough. We might do polishing first. I mean, I bet you could do it. What does Frostmourne look like? I don't know WoW very well, so let's see here. Frostmourne. Sword. I mean, yeah, I bet you can. I bet you can get really fucking close. With as intricate as, like, the engraving can get, I bet you can make enough significant alterations to get to it with some of the fullers and things. So polishing, I really want to get just to make our swords look cleaner. Organized mind. Oh, okay. So that'll get me up to 9. Okay, so that's how you start getting them up, is some of the level unlocks. Engraving materials. Allows you to apply materials to engravings. Oh, fuck, yes. Look how many freaking different leathers and materials that they open up for you as the game goes on. Hell yes. I bet that you can do Frostmourne. I bet you could. I bet you could. Side fullers. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what I want first. I think I want polishing. Just to make it look a little cleaner, and then probably organized mind. Because there's advanced polishing. There's better... So this is how you can, like, I think... Skilled salesman... Treasure hunter. So this is better deals and rates and things. Advanced polishing. Organized mind and bookkeeping. I bet that gets you 1 and then maybe another 2. So this takes you to 9. This might take you to 10 or 11. We'll see what these end up doing. Okay. Cool. Cool. So now we're going to spend the rest of the day scrapping stuff. We got 5 points. This gets us steel. Just steel. 15. 7. Yeah. This gets you leather. This gets you 4. So it's worth doing the tools over anything else for steel. It's a little random though, but it still seems to be better than anything else's payout for steel. And tankards have a chance to get you silver. Okay. So we can end the day. It was a very profitable day. So we have all kinds of stuff to do we can do now. So carpenter, ironmonger. I feel like we should go talk to the huntress because she's going to be going in and out of the city to go hunting. So let's see what she can do. Oh, dude, look at that. Frickin' deer bear. Search of music and merriment, you decide to investigate the nearby tavern. As you walk in, it becomes apparent that the den is more than a tavern. It's a shrine to past glories and future conquests. The taxidermied head of a colossal bear is mounted like a grim totem, watching over the crowd. Patrons drink beneath it, as if in the absence of the voices, they have found a new, unspeaking deity. The bar's clientele are men and women whose scars outnumber their teeth. The timber columns are notched with the marks of prior brawls. The rough floor has been scrubbed, but not quite well enough to remove ancient stains from beer and, you suspect, blood. Examine the bear's head. I got a knowledge of 60s. There's a good chance I get this. Hanging like a hideous moon over the main hall is the taxidermied head of a colossal bear, clearly unnatural in origin, fanged and terrible. Horns branch from its misshapen skull, grasping at the ceiling like claws. Hey! Such a thing isn't impossible. Much wildlife has been twisted by the wrongness it stole after the land across the sundering. You've heard tell that some of these monstrous beasts have grown the sizes of houses, capable of toppling trees in a single swipe. Ooh, experienced and inspired. How would someone even hunt one of these things, let alone kill it? You immediately start imagining the blade you'd need to cut through a solid yard of muscle and fur. You are now inspired. Okay. Assess the clientele. Scarred ruffians at the bar are known as crows, because like crows, they are cunning scavengers, pecking at the wounds of a dying world. Warriors and wanderers, the crows venture outside of Aaron Keep to work as sellswords for mad warlords or plunder the wasteland for loot from the bygone age. The den is where they drink to forget what they've seen. The crows make up the bulk of the den's customer base, but there are others. A man sits in the corner, his soft features and slight build marking him as an outsider. By the hearth, a bard plucks at his lute. At a nearby table, a pair of off-duty guardsmen play cards. We're going to talk to the huntress, because a lot of times, like these uniquely interesting people, if they turn out to be an NPC, it can take the rest of the day from you. And I want to talk to the huntress. You find her tucked away in a shadowy corner of the bar, as still as a gargoyle, watching her surroundings with quick and paranoid eyes. She has hair like a bird's nest and is dressed in filthy mud-brown leathers. Her gaze meets yours. There's a certain madness in there. I can tell! Caswin sent me. He said you could supply leather goods at a favorable rate. He looks like she's seen some stuff in her time. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah. Oh! Caswin's alive? When he was gone from the tannery, I figured that boy had slipped and drowned one of the piss vats. Poor mite. I like him. But he's not going to last long, that one. He's an excellent worker, and there'll always be a market for that. The rule of law persists in Aaron Keep, but for how much longer? Hard work won't mean much when the strong take from the weak. We're all just biding our time until the end. Everything will be consumed by ash. Cashwin isn't a survivor. He won't even make it that far. How can you be so certain? Perhaps the world will heal. I can see why you and Cashwin get along. Bees in a pod, so you are. The end approaches, Smith. We may last another decade if we're lucky. Decade's enough time to sell a lot of swords. Maybe I can retire just as the world ends. You're worryingly convincing. No, I'm not. You just know the truth when you hear it. What are you hunting? The broken flats are barren and empty for miles around. A day's ride west of the city, the bleak woods stretch across the hills. Once upon a time, it was known as the Brithanor Woods, and it was teeming with deer and small game. Well, half the trees are dead, but there's still wildlife to be found. Of a sort. Beasts as big as barns, full of tumors and poisons, or entire packs, fused together by vile forces. Ugh. Turned into shambling, rotting heaps with dozens of screaming mouths. Good for leather, not so much for eating. Fewer and fewer every month, of course. Soon they'll all be gone, and the woods will stand empty. All is lost. Why do you bother hunting and selling hides? Why bother doing anything at all? I like the sight of blood. Jesus. Okay. I think she's seen some stuff. I like to watch my arrow find its target. I like the hours of stillness as the wind stirs in the trees above. Once I've made enough money, I will buy as many supplies as I can and vanish into the wastes. I aim to be the last living soul. I aim to witness the end of the world. Enough of this dour talk. Do we have a deal? Aye, we have a deal. During the day, you can come find me at my shop. Ooh. Okay. Sit across from the delicate-looking man. Kind of looks like Macaulay Culkin. Mixed with, I don't know, somebody else. He had been gazing thoughtfully down at his beer, exposing his bald spot to the world. When you sit opposite him, he starts in surprise. Can I help you? I'm the new smith in town. Just thought I'd introduce myself. Nice to meet you, but I'm not in much need of swords in my line of work. I prefer the pen. My name is Carolinus Svate. Alright, have a great night, Nefarious. Thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate you hanging out with me. I stream Monday through Thursday, usually around 2 to 3 p.m. post Pacific Standard Time, so you're always welcome to come by. Thanks once again. Have a great evening. Sleep well. Talk to you later. Carolinus Svate. Please just call me Carol if that's too much for it is too much for a mouthful. Well, I suppose you could say I'm on a scouting mission, but it's not going well. I could tell by your expression that something wasn't going well. You're obviously an astute judge of character. That might be exactly what I need. Have you ever heard of the Magisterium? Yeah, offhandedly. You're a group of scholars who are selflessly seeking and spreading the knowledge that was lost in the Sundering. Precisely. Oh, it's good to meet a like-minded sort. I rolled the dice and I won. So many libraries were burned or buried, so many secrets lost. By reclaiming our history and understanding the workings of the Long Dusk, we believe we can rebuild the world. Not as it once was, but better. A world where we wouldn't need to rely on the voices for survival. He pauses to mop the perspiration from his brow. Forgive me, you didn't come here for a lecture. You mentioned something about a scouting mission? Ah, yes, sorry. Once again, my enthusiasm has taken me off track. I'm, a novice within the Magisterium. Ooh, okay. My tutors commended me for my ideological purity, but I still sit, regrettably, at the very bottom rung. In order to advance, I must contribute to the Corpus Celestis. Okay. Library of Libraries, the constellation of tomes. It is the Magisterium's collection of books, scattered across guarded sanctums and remains of the world. In order to advance, I must add to the Magisterium's book collection. But I'm not much of a writer, I'm afraid. I have a tendency to ramble. Yeah, I can tell. Fortunately, I can also contribute by donating a book that's not currently within the corpus, and I happen to have discovered the location of just such a book, but it's out in the wasteland. Recovering it will be a dangerous endeavor. I'm here to recruit some crows to accompany me on my expedition and ensure my safety. Alas, I haven't quite worked up the courage. If you lack the nerve to even talk to these people, perhaps braving their wasteland isn't the brightest idea. How did you discover the location of this lost book? Cross-reference, eyewitness accounts, and a pinch of guesswork. Don't tell the crows about the latter. No, I swear, I am going to talk to them. I just need to work up the courage. He gulps his beer and then makes a sour face. If only they served wine here. I can talk to the crows if you want. Oh, would you? That would be wonderfully kind of you. I'll just be over here if you need me. Good luck. Okay. Talk to the crows. In the safety of the den, the crows don't wear armor, but they still have swords at their hips and grisly trophies adorning their bodies. When you approach, a deadly quiet steals over them.
What you looking at? I'm looking at the barkeep and the bear's head at the same time. What you want?
Let's see. I'll buy them all around. Mood at the bar brightens considerably.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Slight heap of coins across the bar. The barkeep begins pouring tankard after tankard of caustic-smelling booze.
You know the way to
Oh, that's a... Okay. Oops. Same voice.
You know the way to a woman's heart, don't you? Take a seat if you like.
Sit with the crows. It's like sitting among tigers. Even when relaxed, there's an air of danger among them. These are folk who make a living from killing. They've seen so much death, they no longer fear its sting. Right now, they're drunk and merry. Hopefully they stay that way. The six gathered at the bar. The friendliest, or rather least hostile, is the hulking, tattooed woman who's been speaking to you so far. Sitting beside her is a sallow man twirling a dagger, his face half hidden behind dark curtains of hair. When you look beyond him, you meet a pair of leering eyes deeply set within a hideous face. The crow's corroded yellow fangs are too large for the jaws they've been wedged in. When you glance away, he emits a high-pitched giggle.
You can call him Hawk. My associate with the dagger, that's Charmer. Don't piss him off. Guy with the teeth?
Oh, you can call me Hawk.
The guy with the teeth? That's Jags.
You don't say much in case he bites his own tongue off. Okay. I'm the new smith. Crows exchange glances. In their line of work, they're often in need of good smith. You watch as they visibly struggle to remember their manners.
I heard a new smith was in town. Good to put a face to a name. About time they found someone to fill old Thesson's shoes.
Explain Carolina's request. The crow listens with a furrowed brow, casting suspicious glances over the small burning man sitting at the table nearby.
Who is this fellow to you anyway? Why are you speaking on his behalf?
I don't know him well, but I thought it would do no harm to help him out.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone. A simple retrieval, that's 500 thalers up front, and we get to keep anything else of value we find along the way. For that, he gets me, Charmer, and Yags. No better crew this side of the Iron Teeth. Go tell him that we're his, as long as he's got the coin and the stones. I reckons he lacks both.
What's the story behind your names?
We call him Charmer on account of his winning personality, and Yags is self-explanatory. It's because he got those yagged fangs. Perhaps I'll tell you the story behind the name Hawk sometime, too, but you haven't earned it yet.
Bear's head. You think it's real?
Don't see why not. I've seen stranger beasts out there in the wasteland. That's a big one, though, must be said. Wouldn't want to be surprised by him while you're squatting outside camp with your breeches down.
There's a lull in the conversation. The crows are getting visibly bored of your questioning. Charmer is smiling at you, but it's the most threatening smile you've ever seen. Hawk glances at her companions and turns to you with a scowl.
Go bother someone else, would you? We come here to drink, not to answer 20 questions.
All right, have a good night. You turn away. One of the crows mutters something that's surely unflattering. The others roar with derisive laughter. Okay. Well, back down with Carolinas. Have you spoken to the crows yet? Yes, and they're willing to work for you in exchange for 500 thalers up front. Really? Up front? But I can't afford that. Listen, I know this is a dreadful imposition, but you're an affluent business owner. Could you provide the funds necessary? What the fuck, dude? How did you expect to do this without the money? The Magisterium are offering a bounty of 1,000 thalers for the book in the question. I'd intended to pay the crows from that, but instead I can give it to you. I don't care about the money. If you fund this expedition, I'll give you the entire prize. Okay. That's a 500 thaler profit. Assuming we succeed. Do we have a deal? I can't afford to risk that much money. Well, that's understandable. I'll be here if you do gather the funds. Okay. So I'm going to need to get a fair amount of money before I can do this. Because I need to have at least enough money to run my forge. The hour is late. Outside, a watchman clangs his bell. Curfew approaches. In the den, the night draws to a close, and grumbling patrons are ushered out into the street. Okay. As you step onto the street, the clamor of the den fades. You notice a drunk crow from earlier, the one who was arguing with the barkeep. He slumped in the gutter, half conscious with dry vomit plastered on his tunic.
Honest. Charles. What has he done to you?
Despite his mumbling, the crow's glassy eyes do not focus on you. Help him get to an inn. You splash the crow's face with water from a nearby trough. Slightly sobered, his eyes finally focus on you.
What? Who are you?
Doesn't matter. I'm the new blacksmith. Come on, let's get you to your feet.
Doesn't matter anymore.
You half support, half drag the huge man to a nearby inn. The man at the front desk promises to see him safely to a bed. Ooh, okay. So the crows aren't all bad. They're just rough. Your good deed done for the evening, you head back to your forge, wondering if the drunk crow will even remember your face. A new day has dawned. The morning finds Caswin's head and shoulders shoved awkwardly at the chimney, scrubbing fiercely. That's good enough. Your assistant's reply is muffled. There's still a little bit I can't reach. Song's end. What the? Pulls himself free of the chimney. A gush of soot floods the forge, making you both cough and sputter. When it clears, you can see that Caswin's eyes wide and white in his soot-covered face. He's clutching something in his hand. What? What's the matter? I found something up there. He shows you what he found. An ugly iron box, crudely made, welded shut around the lid. It's blackened by soot. It was behind a loose brick. Oh. What are you waiting for? Let's open it. Must have belonged to old Tessin Felber. I wonder what he was hiding. He takes an hour of hammering to get the iron box open. When it finally cracks open, a blackened journal drops out with a thump. Ooh. Examine the book. As you flip through, it becomes clear that this is Tessin Felber's diary. Read through methodically. He was a practical man. Most of the days are a list of transactions. He seems to use this as both a ledger and journal. Occasionally, he will make note of the weather or an argument with his wife. At some point, he starts making note of a very difficult commission. He refuses to write down the name of the client or go into detail on the requirements, other than note that it is a sword of great complexity. He struggles with this commission. His struggles with this commission take up more page space than with every passing week. Towards the end of the diary, Tessin starts writing about his marital troubles. Apparently he and his wife, Alice, have been struggling to conceive for many years. In desperation, Tessin went to the orphanage looking to adopt. He immediately took a shine to a boy named Merrill, but by the time he came back, Merrill had vanished, and the matrons were evasive about what happened to him. Last pages of the diary descended into frantic scribbling as a furious Tessin becomes obsessed with finding out what happened to Merrill. His blacksmithing falls by the wayside. His progress on his great project stops completely. His final entry is written in barely legible script. Corruption at the highest level, he writes. I held him. He told me about his nightmares. He trusted me, and now he's gone. I will find him. I will know the truth. Close the book. What does it say? Before he vanished, Tessin was investigating the disappearance of an orphan named Merrill. Apparently orphans sometimes just go missing from the orphanage. Perhaps he found what he was looking for, and it didn't go well for him. Why would Tessin hide his diary in a sealed box? To me, it seems like he was trying to ensure only a fellow blacksmith would find it. I'm not so sure he was trying to hide it from. You think Tessin found out who was taking the orphans? Sounds like he's discovered something dangerous. I'm going to visit the orphanage and see if I can find out what's going on. Be careful. You don't want to share Tessin's fate. As you open up the shop that morning, your mind is racing. Children are going missing in Aaron Keep, but why? So we can go to the orphanage. A letter waits on your doorstep, addressed to you. The calligraphy is exquisite. A secret admirer, perhaps? Open the envelope. It hath come to mine attention there is a new swordsmith in Aaron Keep, and Carolinus Svat hath vouched for thy good character. The timing is fortuitous. I require thine expertise. At thine earliest convenience, please make thy way to St. Marigor's College. Thou mayest find me standing sentry outside the library. Okay. Kind regards, Nimrith the Astragal, finest rank law guard to the Aaron Keep branch of the Magisterium. The law guard at the military wing of the Magisterium. They're based in St. Marigor's College. I wonder why they need your help. What could she possibly want from me? If she wanted to commission a blade, she'd just say so. Maybe she wants your opinion on something. Tuck the letter away. Slide the letter into your pocket of your leather apron. Perhaps you should pay a visit to St. Marigor's College leader. But for now, you have a forge to run. Huh. Okay. Neat. Oh, I'm up to 9 now.
Bleh? Oh. What? Okay.
Well then. Oh, Huntress. During the day, the den was quiet, largely empty. A few serious drinkers sit at the bar, continuing a decade-long siege on their own livers. The innkeeper is busy mopping up signs of the previous evening's festivities. The huntress sits in a shadowy corner, so still that your eyes almost pass right over her. A bundle of fresh skins are slung across the table, ready for sale. Well now, the new smith graces me with a visit. Just so you know, my prices aren't negotiable, but they're a damn sight cheaper than the tannery will charge. You're buying at the source. Surveyor wares. Ooh, she's got... Ooh. Ooh. Chat. Ooh. Sleeping Drought. Sold as a cure for insomnia. This puts the imbiber into a long and dreamless... Why is that for sale? Curiosities of the Wild. Quillion. Keon. Endcap. Peen. And 5 more. That's only 50. Yeah, I'm buying that. Cool. Rain Guards. We get Rain Guard Hexagon and Rain Guard Round. Yeah. Okay. How much for this? Yeah, we're buying that. For some reason we can make ourselves go to sleep. Okay. So I have 93. I'm going to hold off there. Her cart holds an impressive stack of pelts and hides. Even reduced to their skins, it's clear that some of their specimens are stranger than others. Too many limbs, misshaped bodies, teeth where teeth shouldn't be. Why do you think Thesson Felber went missing? People go missing for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes they're lost or in hiding. Usually they're dead. There's no logic to death. It just is. If I were you, I'd stop worrying about the whys of those who came before you and start thinking about who's on the chopping block next. I have some personal questions. Ask away, just don't expect us to become friends. What's your name? My name is my own and only mine. Everyone once knew me by it has passed from this realm. The name belongs alongside them on the list of the dead. It's too precious to give away. It will die with me. What's the most dangerous creature you've ever hunted? Only a fool hunts dangerous beasts. The hunter's art is fell to the most profitable creature for the least risk. I'm no crow. I don't boast of conquests or battles. That being said, I've dabbled in foolishness once or twice, when my pride was prickled. Once I stalked a wyvern across the swamps of ghost moss. None of my arrows could penetrate its scales, though, so I gave up and went home before it noticed me, plinking shots against its hide. What the fuck's a wyvern? A big lizards with leathery wings and poisonous tail stingers. Mean creatures, viciously clever. They remember a face that's wronged them 3 winters past and get their revenge if they ever see him on the roads below. Why were you hunting such a creature? Like I said, pride. There's a settlement south of here, Nettlebridge. It's gone now. They're offering a bounty for Witherman heads, so I thought I'd test my mettle. Ended up deciding I was better off hunting things that noticed when I shot them. Interesting. No skin off my nose, Smith. I'll come back and talk to you later. See ya. Remember, Smith, enjoy the peace of the keep while you can. Nothing will survive what's coming. Okay, how am I doing on time? I'm doing okay. Oh, okay. Cool. I got a new die and I got some new stuff I can make. Celine. Woman who enters your forge is wearing mismatched armor. Her waist is adorned with battlefield trophies. Wasteland grime has worked its way into every crease in her face. I finally found up enough coin to buy some new steel. Lost my last blade in someone's ribcage. Couldn't get it loose before his friends showed up. Sharpness 3. Alabaster pigment. 2-handed broadpoint. Good rep with the crows. More thalers. Ooh, a book. Yes, please. Okay. Medium long length. Can-doodly-doo. Bip ba da bop ba da bum bum bum. Bip ba ba bing bong bing bong. Bing bong ba bing. Bing bong ba bam. Bim bum ba bing ba bing ba bong bing bam. Bim bam bim bam. Boom bang. A boom. A bang. A bingus. A bongus. A bingus. A bangus. A bongus. A bingus. A bangus. A bongus. A bingus. A bambus. A bomb. Bim. Bomb. Bim. I'm making a longsword. I'm making a longsword. Hey. Oh. Can I make it longer? No. I guess that's the maximum length. Oh, 100 centimeters long. That's the maximum length. Okay. Thickness. Width. Let's make it a little longer. And then point. Wants a broad point. And then cross section. Nice. Super sharp. Okay. Let's see here. Can I give it a little teeny fuller? Hell yeah, I can. Cool. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. All right. Needs to be two-handed. Give me that. Thank you. Not enough resources. I don't have enough wood. Okay. Okay. Back to the forge. Okay. What have I got here? Give you a ring. Yeah. That's looking pretty sweet. Interesting. So this is the rain stuff. Huh. What does this do? Huh. Okay. I got new peens. Weird. Ooh.
Give your sword a couple of these bad boys. Look at that.
Oop. That's off. There we go. The mean-looking sword right now. Ooh, I can do engravings now. Hang on. Hang on. Let's get this out of the way. All right. Okay. Engravings. Yep. Cool. Okay. Give me that. Thank you. Sick. Interesting. How big can we make it? That's about as big as you can make it. Okay. Little dot. Right. Middle. Cool. Nito burrito.
It's a long boy. It's a long boy.
There you go, Celine.
Tastes nice and sharp. Should punch your leather and bone a light. Back to the runs, then. The dead won't rob themselves.
Okay. Enjoy. Ooh, I got hexagonal grips. Nice. I definitely need more wood. I need more wood. So we're gonna salvage this. It was 8 wood, and we'll salvage this and this. 9 more wood. Let's salvage this pendant. I'm curious about what this gives me. 7 steel and 3 silver. Okay. Recovering a little bit then on that end. Let's end the day. Okay. What do we got? We got the orphanage, Citadel Square, the Steady Stay, St. Marigor's College. This feels more like main quest energy. I need to talk to a carpenter. Lost City. I'm not going to get Clodo anytime soon out of there. Bloody Cloaks are out here. I'm curious about the carpenter. I'm curious. The Steady Stay. Oh, I'm getting hungry, chat. Ugh. I think we'll go for another 20 minutes or so. We'll hit 3 hours then. And then I might call it quits after that and go get myself some food. Yeah, I think another 20 minutes or so. The Steady Stay is one of Aaron's Keep's more refined inns. Here, scented candles tinge the air with jasmine, and every surface is sparkling clean. A stout man stands behind the bar, his face a mass of friendly wrinkles. The beating rhythm of a hammer echoes across the restaurant as a carpenter replaces floorboards, supervised by a young woman with a stern... Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. With a stern expression and an eye patch. The inn is mostly empty. You can count the patrons on one hand. Welcome to the Steady Stay.
Oh. Welcome to the Steady Stay. We offer clean rooms, good food, and drinks for the savoring. Rysel, stop fussing over there and greet our guests properly.
The innkeeper has a strong accent you can't quite place. The lilting rhythm reminds you of Orlin, but the cadence is off.
I'm not fussing, Father. The carpenter needed help.
The carpenter is here? I'd like to have a word with him.
Of course, but first you need to sit and eat. Rysel, put away that scowl and show our guests a smile. This is an inn, not a funeral home.
The woman with the eye patch sighs, tension evident in every line of her body. The distance, a bell tolls the hour as the woman's gaze falls upon you. The 7th chime hangs in the air. Her eye widens in shock or recognition. Then, so quickly, it's like nothing ever happened at all. She adopts a neutral mask. What? Greetings. Apologies if my father broke your eardrums. Business has been slow recently, and he's excited to see a new face. What was that look you just gave me? It's nothing. What can we do for you? Food? Board? Or both? I recommend the meat and mushroom pie. My brother Keon bakes the best pie in Aaron Keep. I'll take a slice of pie. I'll get that for you. 10 minutes later, you're wolfing down a slice of pie with a generous helping of mashed parsnip. It's cooked to perfection.
Pie. Marge. I want a pie, Marge. Marge.
When you're finished, you have a pleasantly full belly and a newfound appreciation for the humble parsnip. He lays some coins on the table. Money well spent.
Ooh, well fed.
Ooh. Enjoy. Dr. Rizel. As you approach Rizel, she arches an eyebrow. Yes? I don't mean to be rude, but what happened to your eye? What happened to your common decency? Do you think it's polite to ask a stranger about the disfigurement? She smirks at the look on your face. Relax, I jest. I'll tell you, if you tell me something. What is your greatest fear? What people are capable of. What I'm capable of. Well, you weren't the only one with those thoughts. Give me an answer, and a fair one at that. I suppose I have to honor my promise. Here's what happened to my eye. I gave it up willingly, and I received nothing in return. She sits back in her chair, a bitter smile on her face. It sounds like there's more to that story. My father says that life is like sailing. You can't choose the winds, but you can set your sails. I disagree. I think life is a game where you only learn the rules after you already lost. That's pretty true. Broach the bar. As you walk away, Rice mutters a distracted farewell. Man behind the bar is stout as a barrel and about as tall. His daughter would tower over him if the two were to stand next to each other. When he turns to you, he smiles so broadly his eyes practically vanish amid his wrinkles.
Forgive my daughter. She thinks helping her poor old man run the inn is beneath her talents. Perhaps she is right, but don't tell her that. The innkeeper laughs until he has tears in his eyes. I just wish she would smile more. Be more pleasant to our guests. First impressions are everything.
Can I put up a poster about my forge?
By all means, yes! Hang it over there by the entrance.
You affix your poster to a wall, stepping back to admire it. Hopefully the Steady Stays patrons will take notice. Introduce yourself.
Ah, the blacksmith. Such a useful skill to have. I will send the customers to you if they need a weapon for facing the wastes. My name is Nikao Kamai, master of pies, lord of fine ale, as you can see from my girl.
Why'd you call it the Steady Stay?
Because this is what we are offering, certainty in uncertain times. Your stay here will be steady, and what more could you ask in a world without songs?
Father, stop lying to customers. You named this inn before the Sundering?
Names can change meanings over time, my daughter. Perhaps when I first named it, I was thinking mainly of the alliteration. Who can say?
You know anything about Thesson Felber's disappearance?
Yes! I visited his forge around the time he vanished. I was looking to commission a new set of knives for the kitchen. By the time I got there, Thesson was already gone. Only his poor wife was there, sobbing and asking if I knew where her husband was. I told her she was just being silly. Sure, Thesson was fine. Oh, but what a fool I can be. His wife vanished too, not long after that.
So, Thesson vanished first, then his wife?
Yes, that's just what I said. But we have a new smith now. Yes, all is right with the world.
Nice talking to you, Nikao.
Pleasure was mine. Come back soon, my friend.
Speak to the carpenter. The carpenter is hammering down floorboards in the corner of the restaurant. As you approach, he glances up, wiping sweat from his brow.
What is it?
I'm in need of supply of wood. Can you help? Carpenter looks you over.
I supplied Thesson, I did. Good man. Reliable. Doesn't sit right with me, you taking over his forge like this. What if he comes back?
I'm going to find out what happened at Thesson. In the meantime, trade with me.
Well, I am curious myself. Sad state of affairs when a man can vanish like that and no one says a word.
He spits in his palm and proffers it to you for a handshake. Shake his hand.
If you need anything, just say the word.
Yay! Why do you think the old smith went missing?
I don't like to speculate on such matters. Old Thesson most likely stuck his nose where it didn't belong.
You wonder about why he's gone, but you don't speculate on what. Bye. I'll come back and I can ask questions another time.
You step outside, you brush up against a hulking figure making his way into the inn. He thumps a meaty hand into your shoulder. Watch your step, worm.
The jolt, you recognize the loud, obnoxious crow from the den, the one who is criticizing the masked king. You helped him get to an inn that night, but he doesn't seem to recognize you. As the crow walks into the inn, you hear Rysel greet him. She sounds suddenly on edge. Oh, Marwyn, you're back. We've got your usual table ready. Without looking back, you begin the long trudging walk back to your forge. Huh. As you're getting ready to open up shop, there's a rhythmic knock at the door. Who could that be? Open the door. I hope you don't mind my early visit. She steps inside, her single eye taking in every detail of the forge. You looking to... good morning. You're not sure she even hears you. Her hand glides across your rack of tools, counting them one by one, then she turns abruptly. What brought you to Aaron Keep, Smith? Aaron Keep is the last safe place in Talind. Not much choice in the matter. I know what you were. A stray cinder on the breeze, tumbling, never catching a light, until now. She looks you up and down, her eye more piercing than any sword. You get the strange sense you're being measured for a purpose, or perhaps a coffin. Do you have someone who keeps your books? No. Do you mind showing me your ledger? Sure. Pull out your ledger from beneath a stack of iron ingots. She takes it carefully. The ledger is smoke-stained, ink-blotted, filled with loose papers that slip out as Risa lifts it. She grimaces as though holding a dead toad. You could use a bookkeeper, I think. I'm quicker with numbers than any merchant, and I've saved my father thousands of thalers over the years. I could save you a great deal of money if I worked here. You want a job? It was merely an observation. She smiles enigmatically. I actually came here to ask your help. There's a problem at the inn. What kind of problem? A problem that only you can solve. My father's too proud to ask for help, but one day his pride shall be his funeral shroud. Come to the inn and you'll see what's wrong. I'm confused. Don't worry, Smith. This moment was always going to happen. She slips out the door just as quickly as she arrived, leaving nothing but a ringing silence and the faint smell of jasmine. What a strange lady. Okay. Oh, the food and stuff was upping my action points. Okay. Boy. So many choices. Lilia.
Ooh, I get gold.
Axel. Another rich asshole. Ooh, but he gives a book. Wants a fuckload of leather. What the shit? Okay. This is Axel. I think I'm gonna do Axel. Lincoln. Lincoln. Harvo. He wants... Okay, we're gonna do Axel because that gets me a new book and decent pay. Super long. Sword essentials. A buttload of leather. Okay. Sure. Bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba bum 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 ba dum dum. Okay. Thickness. Doesn't matter too much. This is a show sword.
Exactly 50 centimeters.
Okay. Width. Point. What's a broad point? Okay. And then cross section. And then let's have it a little bit more. Let's add. What's a strongly curved sword? Strongly curved! It's the banana sword. Fuller. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Bum. Width. Wider. Wider. Wider, goddammit. Wider! Okay. Alright.
A banana sword. It is the bananaest of all the swords.
Big ugly guard. And another ugly guard. Because I can. He wants it to be two-handed. Fine. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Hold up. Inverse. Oh, God. Yeah, I have a million frickin'... Okay. We're gonna do a hex. Nope. Nope. Yep. 4. 5. That's how I get the leather. You. Okay. Leather does not care. There you go. Is the banana sword. Banana sword. Is the banana sword. There you go. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oval Grips, Volume 2. Cool. Still have 7 left. We could do Harvo. Gonna take 9 steel. I need a sword. 1 sword. Perfect balance, perfect weight. No more mismatched sets, no more accidents. What specs do you need? Produces a leather cord from his vest and stretches it between his hands. This long exactly. Weight balanced at this knot here. I can work with any style, but the balance must be perfect. Okay. He wants 2 silver, walnut brown, 1 hand, regular point, 6 engravings. Cool. Okay. Let's do it. Let's make it freaking fun as hell. You're right in the middle of what he wants. Okay. Thickness. .87. Let's taper the thickness. What are we at down here? 0.3. Yeah. Okay. Point. Regular point. There we go. Okay. And let's curve this thing. Let's curve this thing. Start by curving the whole thing. Okay, we're gonna curve it again. Real short. Hey! Like that. We're gonna curve it again. Bing, bong, ba bong, bong, bing. Long hours in the forge all day. We're gonna curve it again. Come on. We're gonna curve it one more time. We're gonna go bip. Okay, and then cross section. Whoopah! Yeah, make it a little convex because we can. Okay, and then he wants it one-handed. We'll do a guard here. And we're gonna go like that, I think. And then I'm gonna do a hexagonal strong taper. Oh, up a little bit. Okay. And then end cap. No. Twisted crown? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. And then you want some silver. Oh. We're gonna have to do some trickiness with this. That's not enough on that. Thankfully, I have a decent amount of silver. So engravings. Let's take a look here. I like circles. Circles are pretty easy. Yeah. Come on. Okay. We're gonna have to do some stuff here. In order to make this happen. Well, those clearly aren't enough. See if that's enough. Whoa, close. Let's add more of these. Oh, okay. I think that's gonna get me there. Can I scale that back up, please? There we go. Ah! So close!
Yeah.
Oh, it's no longer one-handed. God damn it. Okay, fine. An emblem on it. Make that silver. Not enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Fuck it. You have a weird sword. Oh, that's not long enough. Okay. Steel. I need to futz around with the handle then. I'm gonna make this a one-handed. There we go. It gets a little finicky on this stuff. But, so be it. Oh, that's not enough. What? Not enough silver. Okay, so I need to clearly rethink this. Okay. No. We're gonna stick with this. Okay. We'll do a couple of these, I think. So that doesn't fuck with that. Maybe like that. Yeah. No. I think that's a little bit more well suited. Can I put one underneath here too? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's see if that gets us close to the silver we need. Okay, that gets us the silver we need. Okay. Where is... Ah, down here. Nope. Okay, so this is starting to fuck with mobility now. Shit. What if we pull this off? Not much. What can we do instead? Can we do a little end cap? I guess we could. Ability. It has little weight in the hilt area. Okay, let's... Where does this stop being one-handed? Okay, so we can potentially go like this. Okay. Has to be at least like that.
Does it ever come back? No. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. Now I just need something that doesn't fuck up the mobility. God damn it. Maybe you? Ah, there we go. Okay. So now I just need some engravings. This isn't terrible. I gotta redo my engravings, which is fine. What's this do? Circles and circles. It's the googly eye sword. Little dot right in the middle. Little, maybe some dots around the outside here. Give it some little freckles. Like that. Yeah. I think that's okay. This is the googly sword. The googly sword of +1 googleness. There you go, Harvo. Harvo takes the sword and immediately begins a series of test spins. The blade whirls around his fingers, behind his back, over his head. He tosses it high. The sword rotates exactly 3 times before the hilt smacks back into his palm. Perfect! Look at that spin! True as a compass needle! He juggles the sword in more complex motion now, turning it into a silver blur that shimmers over his head and around his body. Not once does his hand falter. You've saved my career, Smith. Maybe my other, yeah, too. Come see me perform sometime. I'll make you part of the show if you like. Try not to lose any more body parts. Well, the ear was surplus to requirements. No great loss, though I am rather attached to my fingers. Need those for the catching part. Where do you perform? You can catch me in Citadel Square most nights. With this blade, I'll work my way up. One day, I want to perform at the arena between bouts. That's where the money is. Farewell, Harvo. Goodbye, Smith. May the fates be kind. With a hoot and a whistle, he tumbles out into the street. You hear a donkey bray in fright as he somersaults into its path, accompanied by a string of colorful curses from the wagon driver. Okay. It's the googly sword. He got the googly eyes. Ooh, saddle brown pigment. Cool. Neat. Yay! New pigment. Let's go ahead and salvage one of these. Mobile grips. Vanguard. Cool. Getting all kinds of books. Let's talk to Oscar. See if he has anything to tell me. You locate the carpenter at one of Aaron's Keep's timber yards. Sawmills have been constructed in the shadow of the city wall. Here, teams of workmen operate teetering cranes, hoisting lumber from riverboats anchored outside the city. No music here. Oscar is sheltering from the sun in a pavilion just outside the mill. He raises an eyebrow as you approach and spits out a wad of tobacco.
Half the forests are dead, so don't complain about my prices.
Okay. Ooh, a book for 50. Rise and Shine Volume 2. Hexagonal riser, strong hexagonal riser, ferrules. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'm getting low on wood. Take us down to 330. Well, let's get up to 45 wood. Okay.
Scattered around his workbench lies planks of various woods, each bearing a simple chalk mark indicating its price. See ya, carpenter. Okay. Let's talk to the scrap peddler. See if he has anything new. He does not. Goodbye. Let's talk to the huntress once more. She might have some more stuff. Ooh, a new book for 100. Major sword part book teaching the following sword part designs. Key on block adorned, pommel crown, pommel horse head, pine lion's head, and 2 more. I need to be saving money. I'll wait. Because it'll probably come back around, especially from her. Okay. Okay. We'll call it a day. God. The orphanage. Citadel Square for an ironmonger. Ooh, that's tempting. I do need to go talk to Rysel. We'll do that. We'll go talk to Rysel. I think the next time I play, which might just be tomorrow, we should search out the ironmonger. We need to talk to whoever this frickin' guard is. So we'll go talk to Rysel. She needs help, so we should help. We'll do this, and then we'll probably call it a night. Steady Say is no longer as quiet as you remember. Marwin sits in the restaurant surrounded by rowdy men throwing dice and playing cards. The crowd bangs his tankard on the table. The crow bangs his tankard on the table.
Innkeep, get your worthless hide out here now. Our cups are dry and my patience is running thin.
As your father hurries to carry out the crow's orders, Rysel offers you a pained smile. Talk to Rysel. So approach Rysel, she arches an eyebrow. Yes. So, is that what you needed help there with? Indeed. Marwin drives away our regular customers and wrecks the place near every night. He's caused trouble here for months, but since he got banned from the den, it's been 10 times worse. Can't you call the guards? Sadly not. He's been on a winning streak at the arena. They say he could be the next champion. As long as he's putting on a pretty spectacle for the nobles, he can cause as much trouble here as he likes. The guards won't lift a finger for fear of stepping on wealthy toes. I'll help you if I can. Has there always been an arena? No, this is a recent development. After all, we now live in a barbarous age. To establish their arena, the nobles repurposed what used to be the priory of the doves on Horizon Hill. Can you imagine the disrespect? Her hand curls into a fist. Her eyes flash with anger. It's the most emotion you've seen her display. I'll help you if I can. Thank you. I overheard Marwin talking to his men in hushed tones. He's looking for someone to forge a sword with unusual specifications. Judging by the secrecy, it's not intended just for another arena fight. Naturally, your name popped into my head. Perhaps you could offer him your services, but only in exchange for him leaving the Steady State for good. A sword? Why hasn't he come to talk to me directly? In case you haven't noticed, Marwin is too busy drinking and fighting to do much else. I'm sure he'd have made his way to you eventually. Test the waters. See if he's still in the market for a blade. I can test the waters, but I get a feeling they'll be choppy. You'll be fine. Just don't insult him. I can't offer you any great payment, but if you do this for me, I'll leave the Steady Stay and keep your accounts of the fort. Fucking deal. I have 10 years' experience working on the accounts for this inn. I could save you a great deal of money if you have a place for me. You'd be willing to do that? I have a good feeling about you. Let's call it a hunch. Making swords beats making beds. What are you writing? My father, bless his heart and soul, has many talents. He can charm the scales off a snake and pour out a perfect pint, but alas, he has no head for numbers. I'm the one who keeps our accounts in order. I keep on top of our taxes and bribes. And Aaron Keep, the two are practically the same.
Rysel, you must not be saying such things. What are you speaking of? What if you are speaking of to an agent of His Majesty?
Rysel looks you up and down, eyebrow raised. Are you an agent of the Masked King?
No.
She turns back to her father with a shrug. See? It's fine.
You need to be more careful, Rysel. It takes just the one word in the wrong ear.
Rysel rolls her eyes and turns back to you. Forgive my father. He seems to think the Masked King has spies hiding in the hearth and under the tables. Bye, Rysel. As you walk away, Rysel mutters a distracted farewell. Approach Marwin and his gang. As you walk across the table, you hear one of the crow's followers eagerly telling stories of his patron's exploits in the arena.
By the spear, what a sight it was! The other fellow came at him with a spear, all fancy footwork and jabbing. But Marwin, he's too quick.
stepped to one side and lopped off the shaft, leaving him with naught but a stick and a prayer. Poor bastard knows he's dead. You can see it on his face, but he still swings that stick. Marwan ducks under, gets in close, and stabs him 10, 20 times. Blood spurting everywhere, like a leaky barrel of wine. Oh!
It was 3 strikes.
It was 3 strikes.
What? Marwan reaches over and grabs the man's hair, slamming his head down into the table. As the man slumps back, Marwan repeats himself in the same emotionless tone.
Hamstring, shoulder, throat. I killed him in 3 strikes. Get it right next time.
Turns his gaze on you as you approach. There's no warmth in those eyes, just kind of a helpless, directionless rage, like a trapped and starving beast.
What? What do you want?
Are you looking for someone to make you a sword? Marwan stands, quick as a viper. His dagger point tickles your throat.
Who told you that? Tell me or I'll cut your eyes out.
It's just a rumor. Everyone's talking about it. Marwan's eyes jump back and forth, sweeping over his drinking companions. He licks his lips, suddenly looking nervous.
I'm looking for someone to make me a very specific kind of sword. Not just any blade will do.
I'm a bladesmith. I could help you, but in exchange, you have to leave this inn and not come back.
I'll pay you a forge and visit tomorrow. If the sword's to my satisfaction, trust me, I'll be gone from here for good.
He snorts, as though at a private joke.
If the sword leaves me with any doubts, maybe I'll test it out on you.
He sits back down, scowling, and resumes drinking. After a nervous silence, his companions resume their vulgar chatter. Dr. Rizel. Yes? I told Marwan I'll make him a sword. In exchange, he'll leave the steady state for good. Her eyes narrow as she studies you, her face betraying a flicker of hope. Be careful. If he doesn't like the blade you make him, he'll likely to break your arm. Okay, goodbye. Okay. Well, chat. Thank you again for joining me when we make some new blades. Go ahead and I guess that's saved. Okay. We'll take a quick look, see if anybody's streaming that maybe I should visit to. Don't know if there is or not. See, Sethis is playing some Arc Raiders. Envy is doing some Dark Souls 3. You know, I think we'll just call it a day. We're not going to raid out today. I'm not feeling the energy for it. So I'll go ahead and just say thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Really appreciate the engagement today. As always, we have a Discord now where you can post clips, pictures of your pets, and even some food if you're making some during stream snacks or grub. Love to see some engagement there as well, if you would like to. Not required. Just a little extra thing that we have now. As always, I do my best to post the VODs over on youtube.com/@3voltiki. They stay up here on Twitch for a while before they get deleted, so if you ever want to see old episodes, you can go there. Anyway, other than that, thanks so much. You all have a wonderful evening. Get some stretches in, hydrate, make sure you get some food, and tend to yourselves. Yeah, goodbye. I love you so much. You all have